Let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safe Liquid Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio. It's the
Nielson Show, let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
It's the Halloo Crew. It's the Halloo Crew. It's the Halloo Crew. It's the Halloo Crew. Halloo, 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 halloo. It's the Halloo
crew. You don't need a reason to keep people pleasing, treason, reason, cheesing, sneezing. It's off season, what off season? 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 It's off season, what off season?
All right, off season. What off season? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Nielson Show, kicking off another day here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you very much for being along for the ride. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. Dusty with you. Lieutenant Eric remains on vacation. YouTube Trev riding shotgun today. You can text us anytime. That'll get you into the old PJ's inbox. Flexible payment options. So flexible. This is in do not pay for 1 year. You can shop in stores right here in Edmonton, West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, St. Albert Center, www.parisjewelers.com. They are Canadian and they are family owned. One of your text messages will end up winning text of the day today for A&W. So keep those text messages flying in today. A&W drive-thrus, they're open 24/7. So you can get A&W whenever you want, which is kind of an exciting thought process to. You know, like 20-year-old Dusty was always like, man, I wish you could get some A&W right now at 3 a.m. It's like, wasn't open, but now they're all open. So that's nice. Edmonton Oilers continuing to provide us with things to discuss. So that's nice. We're actually going to have the new assistant coach on the show this morning. So that probably gets all you nerds very excited. And I too am looking forward to chatting with him. We actually have a pretty busy show today. We'll recap our lives in general yesterday. And then we'll get into a lot of CFL talk today. We'll have Rod Smith and Matt Scianitti on today. So that should be a lot of fun. The Bleacher Report folks released a list of GOATs in the NBA. Smart time to do it. Slow time in sports. The list just goes to prove why LeBron should actually be number one on the list. Get to that a little bit. I'm not as fired up as many of you think I would be, but we'll get to that around 6:45 today as well. Gage will pop by. Well, let's just lay this thing out for you. We'll get into your morning announcements. Home Run Derby. Did you watch the Home Run Derby? Did you get into the Home Run Derby? I was on with Scott McCord today. We were pre-taping our hit over on 100.3 The Bear, and he's like, I love the Home Run Derby. I watch it from start to finish every single year. And I wanted to reply and say, you should spend more time in your CFL Fantasy League. But he loves the Derby. He watches it from start to finish. I dabble in the Derby. I watched a bit of it. Then I PVR'd it. After the kids were in bed, I was doing some prep, threw it back on, watched a little bit more of it. But I don't know. I mean, I used to watch the Derby from start to finish, but I also used to watch more baseball in general. So now Big Dumper got it done. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, the guy's on an absolute heater right now. So we'll get into that a little bit. Morning announcements, 6:30 today. Off season. What off season? What off season? We're gonna get into that a little bit. Coaching changes. Paul Coffey goes back to his role as guy who hangs around. This time just not on the bench. So we'll get into that a little bit. We'll get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, authorized Napoleon Products dealer. Rod Smith will be by just after 7 o'clock today. Play Alberta early bird bet of the day. We're also going to look at early week CFL line movement. We're talking 2-3 points in some of these games since yesterday morning. I love watching Trev scramble through his bag right now.
I just muted myself. Looking for the mic sock. Yesterday was very stressful.
There's another one right over here.
Right after the hangout. Usually I grab it. Or right after the Nielsen show, I always grab it. But I was on the hangout yesterday, so.
You came back and it was gone?
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know. I mustn't have grabbed it.
There's only one man who this could be.
Yeah, I think I know.
Zach to come.
Yeah, what did he do with it?
Well, there is one over here if you want it. Just use this one. It's just sitting here. I don't know whose it was. I was thinking of getting logoed Mike socks. So you can see like a little EST logo right on here. I don't know. Would that be too distracting or what? What do you think? Weekly confessions for Spectrum Rental. Let's get into that. We'll go there around 7:30 today. Matt Scianetti's going to join us. He was hosting the panel on Sunday for CFL and TSN. Kind of easy trivia, 8 o'clock. I'll try to do the Platterpalooza liner again. There were some good things about that yesterday, but it was mostly bad things. But those are big shoes to fill, man. Those are huge shoes to fill.
Don't be so hard on yourself, man. I think...
some alone.
The goal is to get Chuckles out. I was laughing.
Eric's so damn good at it. 3 questions too many today for the great staff of Park Mazda. Paul McFarland, the new assistant coach of the Edmonton Oilers. He'll be by around 8:20 today. We're going to give him a shout. I've got many questions here for McFarland. There's lots to discuss. I want to dive into his power play theories a little bit. Hey, we're going to see a little switcheroo at all? Probably not.
Ask if Howard's going to be on PP1.
No, I will not. I will not ask him your ridiculous questions. I refuse to do it.
Fair enough.
I am going to ask him if he has any appetite to see a little bit more of a PP2. Right? Will it be as simple as McDavid and Drysdale, you go out there until you're tired and then you can come off? Or do you actually mix in a second unit every once in a while just for a little bit?
I think I have time for that.
You got time for a little second unit?
I think so. A little bit more so.
Has anybody else got time for a second unit? Like the second unit could be, well, yesterday, Reed and I, great oil stream yesterday if you missed it. Reed is the best. I mean, I love doing shows with Reed.
Pros Pro.
Very rarely do I get to sit next to Reed and broadcast, but every time I do, I mean, I'm in awe of his abilities. Anyway, we had a great oil stream yesterday. We're talking about the power play a little bit, and one of the conversation points was, could you move Nuge off of it and play Wallman and Bouchard both on the power play? Bouchard slides over to like a little bit of a higher Ovechkin spot, so you can actually get some one-timers off from that side. You still have the threat of Wallman shot up top, and then McDavid, if he's buzzing around the middle, could go to Draisaitl for a one-timer on one side, Bouch on the other side, a.k.a. the Mark Letestu spot from back in the day. So it was a little interesting. Then your second unit could be Nuge, Mangiapane, Ike Howard, Savoy, and one of Nurse or Ekholm, or Nurse and Ekholm, and then three of those forwards.
I don't mind that. Like this year, I think I wouldn't say maybe struggled. You know what? Maybe I would say struggled. Like I feel like Nuge kind of struggled on PP1, and it was in that spot. And there was so many times. I know you guys are saying Connor Leon.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was he wouldn't shoot it, and he had success in shooting from that spot in prior years. So. If you got Evan Bouchard there, he'd be getting far more looks, and he has a far better shot. So but credit to Bouch, feeding the puck to Nuge, right? When he has all that time and space, would Wallman be able to do that to Bouch? I don't know, but as far as Bouch being closer to the net, I've said it before. With time and space, I think Bouch has the best shot on the Oilers.
With Nuge on that left side, if the shot does get off, it's delayed.
Yeah, it is.
It's just, he's a lefty.
Yeah.
He's not going to one-timer from over there. Sometimes he'll work his way in a little bit closer and then fire. You would probably change things a little bit if you had a Bouchard one-timer over on that side.
For sure.
Now, if that's going to be the case, you have to have Wallman out there to kind of play D.
Yeah.
And Bouchard's kind of like a rover down to the left a little bit.
Yeah. But even you mentioned that delay. Like sometimes Bouch has that delay. The only thing is he's probably got 10 mile an hour. Like it's his shots significantly faster. That
way faster.
Wrist or snapper than
I would be intrigued to see it. It's something different. It might be something a little bit different. Their power play last year, Spruce Grove Corey texted and says, "Don't let Reed hear that PP criticism. He went off on Jake yesterday." Was that on Reed's show? Because he went off pretty. Oh no, it was James. He went off on the oil stream yesterday. He was just like, because James was just like, power play's gotten stagnant. He's like, and stale. Reed's like, I refuse to believe it. Yeah. And it was good. Reed was there. I was sitting here. I was kind of just laughing because when Reed gets going, he gets going. Now the power play was 12th last year.
Yeah.
Previously, it was like 2, 1, 1, 6, 2,
it was top
and then
5,
12th.
top
Yeah.
3, yeah.
So I think just naturally it would probably bounce back to being a top 5, top 6 power play. But we'll see what the new power play guru has to say. Paul McFarland will join us around 8:20 today. Gage will be by just after 8:30. We'll have the wrap for William Huff today as well. You can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox. Nacho Man, I see what you're doing. Nacho Man texted. It says, McCord should be more like Santa's elves when it comes to playing his CFL fantasy. That goes back to yesterday's show when Atif was using a Christmas comparison early in the show. What was that to? It was to the Elks. He's comparing the Elks to Santa's elves.
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't make much sense then. But it's funny now. It is funny now. This text comes in. 403 number. No handle on it just yet. Maybe you need Mike socks embroidered with your names. That would be interesting. I don't know if we could do that. I would like a little EST logo here and then Nielson right there. And then we know whose is whose.
It'd be cool.
That way we wouldn't have people stealing Mike socks around here. Dun, 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 dun.
He's going to give it to me. I'll be like, you forgot this.
No,
Like,
I
why didn't
left
you-
it right where it's supposed to
Yeah,
be.
like, well, why didn't you just leave it there?
Veronica over on YouTube says, I already don't like this Ike Howard. He seems to be like a good hockey player, but he hasn't played any NHL games yet. He can't start at the top. We'll see where he gets slotted in. He won't be on PP1 to start the year. We know that, even though Trev would do it. I know you love him. Would you actually do that?
Okay, so
No, come on.
I think he's going to get some looks in preseason. I don't think he's going to start. But what was it in Hot Takes last week? I said maybe in November. I think he gets a look. I really do. Maybe a few looks and it stays.
A few looks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I know he's got a good shot.
Yeah, like talk about options. Talk about something new. That's new, like a lethal shot from like that far up and left shot. You know, I'm here for it. I really am.
All right. Well, we'll see.
It's gonna happen.
We'll see what ends up happening there. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Nolan from St. Albert. I'm not even necessarily 100% sure what he's referring to here, but he says, I saw the bat signal. You have summoned a nerd.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
That's such a good line. Pat in the county texting into the Paris Steelers inbox this morning. Paul Coffey's new position, newly appointed resource consultant to ownership. Which actually, if you take a look at the starting letters it's narco. Which is kind of funny. Rip City Step chimes in on the old Home Run Derby. Guys, I turned on the Home Run Derby. I heard Pat McAfee and decided to watch a movie instead. ESPN needs someone who isn't McAfee and Stephen A. Smith to put on TV right now. I didn't even realize McAfee was on that bad boy. That's how much I watched it last night. I don't know if did they go to a shot of the booth or whatever. I wasn't even aware. Like I popped in, I listened for a bit. I watched a big dumper for a little bit. Pretty big butt. But I didn't notice that.
Yeah. As far as all-star games and festivities, it's definitely with age. I've gotten like I'm so not interested.
I used to get fired up for the Derby, but
man, I used to get fired up over the skills comp. That was my favorite thing in hockey. Like the night before the All-Star game.
You love that, eh?
Dude, it was my favorite thing. And then the slam dunk contest.
The dunk contest, yeah.
That's always good, but I shouldn't say always. That's definitely who was it? Levine and Gordon. Since that year, they peaked. Like that was just unreal.
That was an incredible back and forth. Like if you go back and watch those dunks again,
Gordon should have won it.
Like
man.
it was incredible.
Yeah. So.
I mean, all I need for the home run derby is like 10 outs and Chris Berman going back. Like that. That's when that peaked.
Yeah.
That's when the home run derby peaked. You're not going to get any better than Berman. So it's like, is there as adults, and Trev, you are an adult now, right? You're what, 27? 26. So yeah, I would classify you as an adult.
Oh.
My kids last night, we were watching Moana 2 last night. And Marshall was like, I wonder how old Moana is. And Elizabeth goes, she's probably a young adult. It's just like, sure. I don't know if any other parents know how old Moana is in Moana 2.
I think so.
Let me know. There's a lot of responsibility on that girl. Holy smokes. She's just continually saving the world over and over and over again. But as an adult, is there one game or event based around one of the major 4 North American sports all-star games that actually intrigues you, that actually makes you turn it on? I don't even watch the entire dunk contest anymore.
Yeah, no, man. No, like, this is a great question. Nasty's definitely, let's hear your answers as well, but no. The short answer is no. I used to, but within the last, 2-3 years, it's same thing. It's a new year, same thing, honestly, for everything. I know they try to change it up. Was the commission of NBA, are they not doing international for this year's All-Star game. Did I not see that? It's going to be
for the NBA. Yeah, I think they are going
America
international versus the United States of America.
Yeah, and I, you know what? I might tune in for that. It'll be like they're definitely like, okay, seeing what Canada was able to do for Four Nations, and they're like, okay, look at this. Like, we want this. Look at the all the hype that was on social media and everything.
It'll still just be an exhibition game.
That's they're not going to have that intensity that Four Nations had. So honestly, it's gone down significantly within the last 3 or 4 years, which is too bad.
Terry M over in the chat. Like I used to watch the NHL All-Star game. I think that might have peaked. Now I'd be going back quite a ways here. The NHL All-Star game might have peaked when Owen Nolan pointed top corner and sniped it on Dominic Hasek.
That seemed cool. Well,
that might have been when the All-Star game peaked, and that was in the 90s.
Yeah.
The NBA. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I watched an NBA All-Star game from start to finish, and I haven't watched that. Well, like with the dunk contest, all the dunks that are worth seeing will pop up on social media anyway. So I don't need to sit down and watch the entire dunk contest. Like, I don't think there's anything, I definitely don't watch anything football related. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm 44 years old now. Like, I necessarily don't care too much about this stuff.
And when you're handing out 10s for every dunk, it kind of just, it's like, I don't know, the importance, the significance of a dunk just really goes down when every single one, it's game over. Let's go home. Let's go home. I'm like, that's like the first dunk. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It wasn't even that good. You can't give 10s out every stupid dunk I'm seeing. So, yeah.
So I guess my question would be, what did you watch instead of the Home Run Derby last night? And Terry said, instead of watching the Home Run Derby, I watched the Air Hockey Championships on YouTube. That's a good one. I like that. I love playing air hockey. It's one of my secret talents.
Really?
I grew up playing like our arcade in Cranbrook. There was obviously a bunch of regular arcade games, but then there was an air hockey table. And I just made that air hockey table my bitch year after year after year. It's still one of the greatest accomplishments of my life. I mean, I don't know, it probably would be before your day, but there used to be a bar in Lethbridge called Average Joe's.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's not as cool as it once was. It used to be like the place to go back in the day. And I remember one night I took that air hockey table and I took it for a run.
Nice.
And it was just people coming up, putting their loony down and like, I want a piece next. And I was like, let's go. 22 in a row.
No way.
People had gathered around. It was probably the most popular I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Who's this guy?
It was incredible. And I was hammered. And I was just like, boom, 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 boom. It was just, God, I haven't played in a lot of air hockey lately, but
I mean, we don't have
I got some time for that on YouTube. I should have watched that myself. That would have been fun.
We don't have one in the studio, but I mean, if we ever got one.
But here's the thing. If we're getting an air hockey table, we're getting a full-blown air hockey table. I'm not getting one of those half-ass plastic air hockey tables.
It needs to be official.
I want a big one.
Because I'm also pretty confident in my air hockey abilities. Yeah.
You know what?
I had one in my home growing up.
Not a full-size one?
Yeah. Like, it was pretty legit. Like,
really?
As far as...
Not the one you would see at the arcade, like the big heavy
I guess, not
okay,
that. But like, it wasn't it was a few $100. It wasn't like, the pretty gimmicky ones.
I'm talking, I want to go to Playmore and buy a $6,000 air hockey table.
Yeah.
Like with the scoreboard.
And the green disc.
Jumbotron. Yeah, exactly. God, would that be something?
Puck.
You know what? Technically, at the new office, you've seen the new office.
Yeah.
You know where that huge boardroom is?
We do have room for one.
We've been talking with our furniture guy about putting a boardroom table in the boardroom. But if we were to put an air hockey table in there, we could still technically have meetings.
We could.
Around that table.
Yeah.
We could have a custom board that we just sort of put down over the playing surface, and we do meetings on there.
Yes.
That's not the worst idea in the world.
No. That's not at all. I'm so for that.
I think what we probably do is if we set it up as a boardroom, but if it doesn't get used as a boardroom, then eventually we just take it all out and put a big official air hockey table in there.
Yeah, that's the play.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you got so many good ideas, Dusty.
Yeah, so you know what else I dabbled in last night instead? So I had the Derby on PVR. I watched some of Raleigh stuff, and then I was like, enough. I turned on the first episode of Big Brother. Which
ever? Like, have you ever watched?
No, buddy. I was a hardcore.
Okay.
Like one year, me and my roommates in Lethbridge got the live feeds and put it up on our living room TV and left it all summer.
Yeah.
We didn't watch anything else. Like we just were like in the house. So hardcore, for those of you, I mean, I'll just do it to myself.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless China. It's gone.
I used to watch every episode of Big Brother. In fact, I applied to be on Big Brother when I was in college on the American version when I was Canadian. I was never going to have a chance, but I was like, I'm sending something in. But I haven't watched in a few years. I turned on the first episode last night. I don't know if it hooked me enough to watch a season or even a second episode, but it kind of brought me back a little bit. I used to, Tam and I used to watch every single episode for years.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah.
You ever, well, obviously, so you know, Maddie's just diehard.
Oh, yeah, Maddie. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's good. I watched 2 seasons when I was like 12 to 14, probably.
Yeah. Do you remember any people on those shows?
I remember the one guy the season that won, he was like a total nerd. Like he was a nerd. He had glasses. Not saying that you're a nerd. Sorry. No, but like he was...
Go outside,
he had
nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless China.
I know who it is.
He had a photogenic memory.
Yeah.
Dark brown hair, short hair. And he was going up against, and I remember one guy predicted him to win. He was like one of the best Big Brother.
Dan Giesling predicted him to win.
Yeah.
See?
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
No, I remember it was his Big Brother. Was his name Adam?
Adam. I think it was Adam.
Yeah. See?
So that was when I was watching it.
I think it was Adam. Maybe it wasn't Adam.
Oh, I think that sounds right, man. Adam.
Anyway, I know the guy. Little dude, walked on his toes.
Yes.
Yeah. Ian.
Little bit of a rat.
It was Ian.
Or was it
Thank
Ian?
you, Big Slam Nasty. It was Ian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. I need to look this up now. Ian.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was
That's
Ian.
the guy, right? Like, yeah.
He was real smart. And
I think that was an all-star season because they brought back they bring back coaches that year.
They might have.
I think they
I just
might have had a
remember
few
it was
coaches.
a lot of hype on that year. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't know if this year's going to
suck.
suck me in if anybody's watched it. All right, off season. What off season? We're going to get into that. The Edmonton Oilers making some changes on the bench, making some changes with the goalie coach. Does any of it really matter? What say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up over in the nasty chat. Fired up for Gemco Fireplaces. I had a few people tweet me last night with this Bleacher Report, I guess Bleacher Report staff, which I'm not sure is as big as it once was in their glory days, put together. They voted on the greatest of all time list in the NBA. There's no better talking point than dropping one of those lists. And I'll just say this. We'll get to it for Fired Up. We'll leave it for that. Let's get to a sports update right now with YouTube Trev. We'll talk some Oilers off season. What off season on the other side of this 6:30 update.
Edmonton is revamping the bench. The Oilers have added 3 new coaches in Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Connor Allen, while reassigning Paul Coffey to special advisor to ownership and hockey operations. The Buffalo Sabres locked up their young defenseman in Bowen Byram with a 2-year, $12.5 million extension that skips arbitration. The 24-year-old had a career high in points last season with 38 points. And Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners made history in Atlanta last night, winning the 2025 Home Run Derby and becoming the first catcher and first switch hitter to claim the title. He edged out Junior Caminero 18-15 in the finals, powering 54 total homers on the night, bringing home the iconic chain and $1 million prize. And according to Farhan Lalji, Edmonton Elks Jake Seresna's imaging on his knee came back clean, and he could be back in a couple of weeks. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
You don't need a reason to keep people pleasing. Treason, reason, keys and sneezing. It's off season, what off season? 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 It's off season, what off season?
6:34 with the AM Nasty. Thank you very much for being here today. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. If you're looking for a tasty summer snack, they've got you covered with all of their chicken wraps. They're absolutely delicious. Let's get to a couple of text messages before we get into off-season. What off-season? This one in out of Winnipeg this morning. Some people refer to it as the Peg. No handle from this person just yet, but says, good morning, Dusty and ESTers. David. Oh, I guess his name would be David. David tuning in from Winnipeg. Dusty, can I get a Marshall and Muzz prediction for the Bombers Stamps game? Love it. Pumped that Milt's back with the panel. Can't wait to see them in person. Yes, Milt Stiegel returns after tragically losing his son over a month ago. He is going to be back, and the panel will be in Winnipeg, which is Milt's stomping grounds. And that'll be a fun game on Friday night. Marshall and the Muzz are both very excited for tomorrow morning. Marshall is planning on going to bed a little bit early tonight because he has to get up to do the show, even though he's not coming in until the 8 o'clock hour. And then the Muzz is trying to negotiate a little bit more than 10 minutes, but the Muzz will be joining us tomorrow. And I got home yesterday, and they both have these little orange notebooks where they've been writing down their top 10 lists for different stuff. So Muzz has her top 10 Jedis list.
Yes.
And she has her top 10 NHLers. Marshall's got his top 10 NHLers, his top 10 CFLers, and he's got a few other things as well on the go. So he tells me yesterday, he goes, Daddy, I'm gonna have to research these guys a bit. I said, that's what we call prep. I said, you're gonna have to do a little bit of prep for the show tomorrow. I said, you just grab Mummy's computer tomorrow and start researching some of these guys. He goes, oh, I wish I had my own computer. I was like, listen, I'm not buying you your own computer so you can prep for coming on the show for 1 hour in the middle of the summer. But yeah, tomorrow, 8 o'clock hour, it'll be myself. Marshall will be with me for the entire hour, and the Muzz is going to come in spitting fire around 8:45. So it should be. You know what? I should talk with him today. Tammy's going out for a little bit of a birthday dinner with her mom tonight. Maybe I get Marshall and the Muzz to put together some hot takes tonight. Oh. And we put them head to head in hot takes tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be good.
Hey?
Yes,
Those hot takes would be hilarious.
That would be.
That would be
hilarious
pretty funny.
Horrible.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
Let's do it.
I like that idea.
That'd be fun. Proud moment, hey? Are you going to shed a tear?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? Okay. I mean, if they do well, I'll probably cry. If they don't, I'll be furious with them. So pretty much
You're out.
Classic parenting thing.
That's so good. No, they're going to crush it. He was, I saw them both and Tam at tailgate.
Oh, yeah, they said they saw you at tailgate.
And
he
was pumped.
Yeah,
they both were.
You don't know how excited they are.
He's like, I can't wait. I can't wait.
So cute. They got these orange little notebooks. Their little lists. It's good. Big Maple says, guys, I need some nasty reviews. Has anyone seen the new Apple TV show called Stick? I have watched Stick. I've watched every episode of Stick. That's the golf show with Owen Wilson.
Mm.
He's basically the same guy that he is in every movie.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. That guy.
Wow.
It's like he's a former golf pro who had a meltdown. Timothy Oliphant is kind of the bad guy, and I love Timothy Oliphant as well. He's outstanding. I like it to watch it basically every Thursday when I'm flying somewhere. And it comes out on Wednesdays, and I'll be flying to Montreal tomorrow, so I'll probably watch it on the plane tomorrow. I don't necessarily love it, but I do like it. I watch it every week.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a...
What's the name? Stick?
It's called Stick.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a simp for Owen Wilson.
You know what?
I like Owen Wilson.
He was my favorite actor growing up. Yeah. I loved Owen Wilson. I thought he was awesome.
And he's attended CFL games in the past.
Yeah, in BC, eh?
Yeah, so I got some time for him.
He's cool.
Yeah.
My favorite. Yeah, no, you say that. That's a good point. He's kind of like the Vince Vaughns of the world.
They're both the same guy. Like,
they're the only show, the only performance I've ever seen where he's kind of been different was on Loki, and I had mad respect for it.
Yeah,
he wasn't
I liked him on Loki too.
Yeah,
there were still some Owen Wilson moments on Loki,
there
though.
were for sure, but a little bit more serious approach. I had time for it.
Yeah, no, that's good. All right, off season. The Edmonton Oilers providing us with more discussion yesterday. They have a new assistant coach. I'm very interested to see, like, usually in any sports business, a lot of these hires have a connection from the past with somebody who's bringing them in. And I don't necessarily know where McFarland's paths crossed with Knobloch. So I'm interested. Did you look this up yesterday? They coached against each other in the Ontario Hockey League. I know that.
I believe it was Dave Haxtell, the coaching staff. Before Dave Haxtell was in Seattle, was he in Philly by chance? Is that what I'm thinking? But I was listening to Reed's show, and that's where they.
Is that the connection?
Yeah, they've had history. It's through Dave Haxtell, and that was what Reed said. He's like, I wonder if that's what I'm trying to put together. But then he said, he's like, I'm not guaranteeing this, but that was where I was trying to connect the dots there. But wherever Dave Haxtell was before, was it? I want to say it was Philly, or was it New York?
No, he was with Philly.
Yeah, I think it was.
And
Philly.
then he was with Toronto.
But did Knobloch have any?
But like
in Philly?
What's the Knobloch connection to Haxtell?
Were they not?
I don't think they. I know it's been mentioned that he was interested in maybe bringing him on board, and they have some similarities. Somebody will correct me on this, but I don't see where their paths crossed. Either.
Chris Knobloch and Dave Haxtell have a history of working together in the NHL. Knobloch served as assistant coach under Haxtell with Philadelphia Flyers for 2 years.
With Philly, yeah, okay.
2017,
Yeah. Okay.
So that's where that, and then Haxtell brought on McFarland when he was in Seattle. So that's where the connection is.
So probably a vote of confidence from Haxtell in McFarland.
Yeah.
And Knobloch, yeah.
We got a little bit of a
that makes sense.
Good reference there.
Well, we'll see what... I'm curious about the power play. We're going to dive into the power play a little bit. Do you think a goaltending coach change does anything for Stuart Skinner?
Like, if Stuart Skinner has a better season this year, I don't think I'm going to be like, oh, it's the new goaltending coach.
Really?
No.
Why not, though?
Really? I don't know. Like, I had a conversation with Gage, and he said...
By the way, the new goalie coach will be on EST afternoons today.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 3 with Hernan and Gager.
And he said, as far as every goalie coach, they will tell you all like 90% of the same things. Like they all take from each other and then they use it for themselves as the logic that they've heard from before. And then they bring it where they go on going forward. So, you know what? I don't think I would credit any to Stuart Skinner's success if he is better to the goaltending coach. I think it's just natural progression. Like he's going to get better. That's what you do with age, with experience. As far as maybe handling pressure in certain situations, maybe that's where I think like this is a good voice. This is, refreshing for Stuart Skinner. But I mean, at the end of the day, Stuart Skinner has to make the saves, right? It's not going to be Aubrey. I believe it's Aubrey, right? Is the goaltender
Aubrey,
coach?
yeah, Aubrey.
Yeah. So that's my opinion. I don't know. I just talking to Gage, like he's really been like, at the end of the day, they can tell me whatever, but I'm the one that's out there. I have to make the saves. And so I don't know. I don't think.
I mean, I think if Stu Skinner has his best season in the National Hockey League,
I mean, it would be
with a different voice as coach. That you're right. Like that would be a crazy coincidence. Like, what if Stuart Skinner has a 912 save percentage next season?
Yeah. I mean, then
the
common denominator like that is it. Like, there's only one big change for sure. So maybe I'm doubling back on my thought process here. You're convincing me there, Dusty. You are.
I didn't do too much. I just kind of pointed one thing out. I basically just said, what if he's better?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that is the case. Big Uke says, I expect Stu to be better next season with or without the new coach, but a new voice can't hurt. So, yeah, I mean...
And see, it's like, how much is one coach doing for one player? You know, like, that's why I'm a big believer in coaches can definitely change a team dynamic and strategies and whatever you want to say. As we saw that with Chris Knobloch as soon as he stepped in. They went from bottom of the barrel, which, I mean, they shouldn't have been bottom of the barrel, but I think coaches definitely move the needle and have more of an impact on sports when it's team sports as to just one certain, player. So maybe that's why I'm just hesitant and giving all the roses to the new goaltending coach.
I'm not too sure about skills coaches. I don't know how much they help one way or the other. Another body to have around, so I don't want to chime in too much on that one. And then, McFarland, and we'll discuss. I was reading some stuff on McFarland when he joined the Toronto Maple Leafs for a little while about his theories on power plays and things like that. And so we'll get into that a little bit. I think that part of it actually probably intrigues me the most out of all of this. Like the goalie coach thing, and a goalie coach will do a lot of pre-scout of other goalies and stuff like that. So it's not just like every single day he's like, Skinner, slide quicker to your right. It's not just that. And I'm EST Afternoons today, we'll have the new coach on, the new goalie coach, and I'm very interested to hear that conversation. But a fresh voice on the power play,
that's good.
Intrigues me quite a bit. I mean, the power play has been very successful for a long time. It was 12th this year, so it can be better. But it has been so good for so long that I don't think you come in and overhaul it.
Yeah.
But I mean, do we still see the number one priority of the power play is McDavid trying to seam passes over to Draisaitl? That's their number one thing right now.
Yeah.
Right? It's McDavid trying to open up the box enough to get a puck through to Draisaitl. When it works, it's in back of the net most of the time. A lot of teams are on to it and they try to break it down, but they want to still hammer that thing through. And, if it gets picked off a couple times, it gets picked off a couple times. McDavid usually finds a way to get it over there. But outside of that, you really don't see too much else. It's just been so damn good. Why'd you go away from it? But I mean, I wonder if there's a little bit of a different look.
I definitely want new looks. I made a video, I guess, 2 summers ago for my channel, and it was what goes into making the greatest power play of all time.
Okay,
and that was the year that they set an NHL record, and it was magic on ice. It was so fun to watch, especially if you're a fan. And I kid you not, Dusty, there was plays that year that I would be like, okay, this is the play that they're going for. This is the play that they're going for.
And you could tell how they set it up.
And in the video, I broke down what plays work and what plays have been working for this team. But going to this year now, I tell you, man, like, obviously I watched every single game, and that was what was frustrating because I know what they've done in prior years, in past years, and they weren't doing it. It was strictly Connor to Leon. But the year, if you really know, like, if you were watching a few years ago, just the reason why they had so much success is they were trying so much more. Like, they were just different plays, and it wasn't even close. I mean, the people nasties in the nasty chat, we're getting texters. It was predictable. Like, that was one thing that was so tough and so frustrating to watch about this year's Oilers power play was just how predictable it was. Like, everyone in the arena knew it was going Connor to Leon, Nuge to Leon, right?
Let me ask you this, Trev. We know Connor across to Leon, option number 1.
Yeah, like, it works.
But what's option number 2? Like, what did they do the second most often on the power play this year? Because the answer probably should be boosh bombs. And I don't think that was the answer this year.
Yeah.
I don't think they did that enough this year.
No.
So what was, like, when you look at power plays with different options, and Big U points out, he goes, the Washington power play, especially when it was in its peak, you're feeding over.
Yeah.
But Backstrom also had other options going on too. They had TJ Oshie in the mix a little bit.
For sure.
Like, this year, Hyman didn't have a great year, but he had like half the power play goals he's had each of the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Bouchard only had 3 power play goals, didn't score one for the first 3 quarters of the season.
Yeah.
This is a legitimate question, Oilers fans. we know the Draisaitl one-timers power play option number 1. What would you say is power play option number 2 for the Oilers? I'm not talking from person. I'm talking about what's the second most common way they score.
For sure. And that's one thing that has changed. I remember Zach Hyman's first goal as an Oiler was a power play goal. It was Leon to Zach Hyman. He was right in the net front presence where he usually is. But the year that they broke the NHL record, I'm not even joking. It was the most satisfying power play goal. If you remember, it was just, it was awesome. They had 3 seconds in the power play, and it went from Connor back to Bush to Connor to Nuge to Hyman in, like 5 passes, just like that. But that was one thing I definitely feel like maybe that option wasn't on the table, so that's why they didn't go to it. But I feel like Hyman definitely didn't get as many looks. But as far as just the motion of the power play as well, that was one thing that I noticed. McDavid, in that year, there was so many plays in this video I dedicated to when everything else isn't working, McDavid, this is where it's his time to shine. And he gets going, and he gets everyone swirling their loss.
He's moving around, yeah.
I didn't see that at not even close to what it's been in years prior. So those are a few options, I guess, or a few things that maybe they could bring back. But it's just, that's why I am very excited for getting a new power play coach. Just a new look. And there's nothing wrong. Glenn Gulutzan, he was awesome, obviously. It's pretty cool. He's going to look back in his career and be like, oh, I was a part of the greatest power
And those
play.
guys loved him.
Yeah, they did, right? Like all of them. So, but I think a new look is going to be good for them, for sure.
A few people have suggested that the second option on the Oilers power play is just Zach Hyman as a backboard that you bank pucks off of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's how it was then.
Yeah.
Like that year, it was Zach Hyman and in. And I will say, though, how much, obviously he's making a living, just being in front of the net.
Yeah.
But he took it, he had a hard year this year. Broken nose, broken wrist. I was watching after he broke his wrist. Maybe he wasn't as physical in front of the net as he was before, just because he was nervous, very nervous, getting another 90.
After he broke his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that'll do that to you for sure.
Well, Roy over on YouTube this morning is trading him. Says Hyman is 32 and personally broken down from playing the way he does. Trade Hyman to Buffalo. So there's that one this morning for a take as well. Big Hugh also saying Bouchard was spooked after he broke Hyman's nose.
Yeah.
So, but you can't be. That's just something that's going to happen. You just got to keep firing and hammering it back from the point.
But we can't forget about this as well. Talking about what went wrong on the power play. First off, I remember when I joined the oil stream with you guys at Kingsway Boston Pizza, and it was right around December. We're like, they were changing up the power play units, and we were like, oh, that was the conversation because it was struggling mightily at the beginning of the year. But Dusty, Evan Bouchard, power play goals. He didn't get his first power play goal till 3/4 of the way through the season. We were talking about it. Evan Bouchard, he still does not have a power play goal. So obviously,
finished with 3, I think.
Yeah, but that's when you've got the Bouch bomb. That's obviously, and the looks that he was getting, the shots that he was getting. Maybe it was just a down. I don't know why it wasn't going in for him. He was really fighting it. When it finally went in, as we saw in the playoffs, the puck was definitely. He was finding the net for sure, but how much do you credit just Bouch's shot? That's an extra. It should be an extra 10 goals on the power play. It should be. So, a lot of things to look at.
780-218-9999. That is off season. What off season here on Tuesday, July 15th?
You don't need a reason to keep people pleasing, treason, reason, keys and sneezing. It's off season, what off season? 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 It's off season, what off season?
All right, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. We are 20 away from changing 100 in the 6 o'clock hour. Conch to all you 6 o'clockers today. All right, let's get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces. Gemco Fireplaces. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. They're the authorized dealer for Napoleon fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available and waiting for you at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. Get your Napoleon products at Gemco. I had a bunch of people texting me this or tweeting this at me last night. This was Bleacher Report dropping their list of the top 100 players of all time in the NBA. And obviously, you know, I've got about 6 minutes here before we have to get to the update, and then we got Rod Smith. I do promise that one day I will sit in the middle of this desk and do an entire 3-hour show on who is the GOAT in the NBA. That will happen at some point. It's not today. But I do want to tell you, I'm not as fired up about this list as many of you would think. And I'll tell you why in just a second here. Here's the top 20. The top 20 on Bleacher Report's top 100 NBA players of all time. Number 20, Dr. J. Number 19, David Robinson. Number 18, Dirk Nowitzki. Number 17, Jokic. Number 16, KG. Number 15, Jerry West. Number 14, Oscar Robertson. Number 13, the Slim Reaper, the Durantula, Kevin Durant. Number 12, Hakeem Olajuwon. Number 11, Kobe Bryant. Kobe stands right now like, oh, Kobe's outside the top 10. Steph Curry is 10. Wilt is 9. Bird is 8. Tim Duncan is 7. Shaq is 6. Bill Russell is 5. Magic Johnson is 4. Kareem is 3. LeBron is 2. And Michael Jordan is 1. Now, I know many of you are like, oh, Dusty, look at this list. If you take a closer look at the list, and this is what I say all the time about this conversation, is that I think it's a conversation. If you want to take Michael Jordan and say he's the greatest of all time, go ahead. You can make a case for that. If you want to take LeBron James and say he's the greatest of all time, I also say go ahead. You can make a case for that. And I have said that if you want to make a case for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to be the greatest of all time, you can make a case for that too. He won 6 titles, which is as many as MJ won, and he went to 10 finals. And he won more league MVPs. And he was the all-time leading scorer till LeBron passed him. Like, Kareem probably deserves more love. But what I'm not fired up about is that those 3 guys, if you go and look at the full list, all 3 of those guys got first-place votes. So there were some people that had Kareem at the top of the list. There were some people that had LeBron at the top of the list. And there were some people that had Michael Jordan at the top of the list. So to me, that's what the conversation should be about. Kareem, LeBron, and MJ. So this list actually doesn't really fire me up. And can I also throw this? It low-key helps LeBron's case. Because if you go look at this list, LeBron lost 6 times. Okay? 3 of them to a Golden State Warriors team. If you look at the Golden State Warriors, the final 2 times LeBron lost to them, the Warriors had 4 of the top 100 players of all time on that team. How is that supposed to hurt his legacy? You lost to a team that had 4 of the top 100 players of all time. His losses to the San Antonio Spurs. 4 of the top 100 players of all time also on the one Spurs team that he lost to. The first loss against the Spurs, he was young, Cavs, had literally nobody, dragged that team to the finals. Even the Dallas Mavericks, who, and I would say is the one thing that I really can't defend, they probably shouldn't have lost to that Mavericks team, but that Mavericks team had 2 of the top 100 guys of all time. And the Mavericks team, I think, swept Kobe in the West Final. Like, they weren't that bad, but the Heat should have beat them. Now you look at Jordan's titles. Jordan played 2 teams that had 2 top 100 guys. The other teams he faced in the finals had 1 top 100 guy. So when you look at the construction of this list, I actually think it makes LeBron's finals losses that much more. How do you blame the guy when he's going against teams with top 4 of the top 100 players of all time? I mean, that's tough. Here's another reason I think the list helps. Scottie Pippen is higher on this list than any of LeBron's teammates that he played with in his prime. Shaq is at 6. He played with LeBron when he was 37. He averaged 12 points a game. I mean, it's the end of his career.
Do you think Pippen's better than prime D Wade? What are your thoughts?
According to this list, he is.
What are your thoughts?
I
feel like
I think it's close, and I think it is close, actually. I think Pippen was like at 22. D Wade was at like 27.
Oh, okay. Curious.
Dwayne Wade won a league MVP.
Yeah.
I think at one point won a title with Shaq. I think people undersell how good Scottie Pippen was.
Yeah.
Like, if here's another example of this whole Scottie Pippen thing. So Michael Jordan dunked from the free throw line in the dunk contest. It's the only thing anybody ever talks about. 3 years later, Scottie Pippen went in the dunk contest, dunked from further out at the free throw line. Nobody talks about it, ever. He actually dunked from further out than Jordan did.
I did not know that.
Exactly. I mean, you go look it up. Scottie Pippen is actually, his foot's like 3/4 behind the line. Jordan's foot is 3/4 over the line.
Yeah,
so, and actually, you can go look this up too. LeBron dunked in a game from the same spot that Jordan dunked in the dunk contest. So, I mean, maybe I sound a little fired up, but I think this list actually helps my case a little bit. Just saying.
Just one last question here for you, Dusty.
Hashtag Association City.
But how much of it is all the reporters, all the analysts, the Stephen A's, the Skip Bayless, like they know that if they put Jordan over LeBron, it's going to get clicks and it's going to drive people insane. Like, do you think that...
I mean, these two players both played in completely different social media eras.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's one didn't exist and the media have come out and said they protected the guy. The other guy gets ribbed for everything he does.
For sure.
That's why I kind of mocked everybody last night when he was at the Spring League game. Came walking in, holding his wife and his daughter's hand. I was like,
I saw that.
The nerve of this man.
Yeah.
You know, like...
But
so.
yeah, like my sense, I really think they knows that's what gets clicks. They do. They know that's what gets clicks. And Skip Bayless, he did his top 10 all time, his updated. He had like LeBron at 9. And I'm just like, dude. Like,
well, Skip Bayless is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Skip Bayless.
Well, no, but like I feel like he knows what he's doing, right? He knows it's going to get clicks. That's why people do it.
Anyway, fun conversation. I could have done the whole show on that damn list. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. That's fired up for Gemco Fireplaces. Get all your Napoleon products at Gemco. All right, big CFL second hour. This excites me. Rod Smith, he's going to join us just after 7 o'clock. Matt Scianitti is going to join us around 7:45. Got some crazy line movement early in the week on the CFL as well. And weekly confessions for Spectrum Rental. What do you need to get off your chest this morning? Hey, let's get into that. 780-218-9999. We're going to get to a sports update. It's going to be for our partners over at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton. Chelsea, give Chelsea a call, 780-970-4834. We are going to Mexico February 22nd. Myself, Lieutenant Eric, February 22nd to March 1st, and we're bringing you with us. If you want to get in on this, spots are filling up. I think we are at least one spot less than yesterday, because you know who texted me yesterday and got Chelsea's number and said he's coming to Mexico?
You
know him?
Yeah,
is
he from Tailgate?
Yeah.
Okay. Jerry.
Yeah. So how did you know that? Did he bring it up?
Yeah, well, that's funny because as soon as we brought up this, I'm like, damn it, I forgot to ask. I was supposed to send or get.
He texted me yesterday.
The deets.
Yeah, so
sorry,
I sent
Jerry.
Chelsea's number.
Jerry.
He said he was going to book yesterday. Haraxi, who's like the guy at Tailgate, is coming with us to Mexico. And what's even better about it is that we're going from February 22nd to March 1st. He's a leap year baby.
Yeah.
So it'll technically be his birthday, but not 100% his birthday because he's born on February 29th. So we'll have some sort of mystery birthday celebration.
Yeah, how does that work?
I know. Do you celebrate on the 28th?
Yeah.
Or do you celebrate on the 1st?
Actually, didn't even think about
We're about to
That'll
find
be
out.
Awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a nice addition to the Mexico trip. You should come with. 780-970-4834. That is a 5-star resort. Planet Hollywood, Cancun. Reach out to Chelsea and let's go have some fun. Let's get to the sports update for Expedia right now with YouTube. Trev, Rod Smith talking CFL on the other side.
is revamping the bench. The Oilers have added 3 new coaches in Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Connor Allen, while reassigning Paul Coffey to special advisor to ownership and hockey operations. The Buffalo Sabres locked up their young defenseman in Bowen Byram with a 2-year, $12.5 million extension that skips arbitration. The 24-year-old had a career high in points last season with 38 points. Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners made history in Atlanta last night, winning the 2025 Home Run Derby and becoming the first catcher and first switch hitter to claim the title. He edged out junior Caminero 18-15 in the finals, powering 54 total homers on the night, bringing home the iconic chain and $1 million prize. And according to Farhan Lalji, Edmonton Elks, Jake Ceresna's imaging on his knee came back clean, and he could be back in a couple of weeks. The New York Jets have locked up star wide receiver Garrett Wilson with a groundbreaking 4-year, $130 million extension, including $90 million guaranteed. Since being drafted in 2022, Wilson has put up 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
Red sky fading, let's do this right. What you drinking's what I'm drinking, who's got a light? We about to kick off this 9 to 5 from dusk till dawn. Man, it's on. CFL on TSN, music's playing, yeah, we're swaying, crank it to 10. These stars are falling like confetti, so wish on one for the gone. 3rd and 1 from the gun underneath those Thursday night lights. Singing long live the night. It's a song coming on, one that everyone knows. It's a pass, it's a run, it's a see where it goes. It's the guys and the girls under those stadium lights, singing long.
That still fires me up. God, I love it. That's so good. Trev, you're loving that song too. I see you over there.
It was catchy, man. I'm bobbing my head over here.
Red sky fading. It's just, it just gets me going. I get so excited about it. Although I do have a bone to pick. I was just listening to the lyrics there. And I get it because it rhymed, and I like to write some songs myself, but it said 3rd and 1 from the gun. That's not going to happen. 3rd and 1 is going to be Tommy Stevens. I mean, you're going to be punching this thing ahead. Anyway, let's bring in Rod Smith. He joins us, one of the voices, of course, of the CFL on TSN. Rod, am I wrong to question the 3rd and 1 from the gun?
You're not wrong at all. Good morning, Dusty. In fact, I remember we talked about that a few years ago. I believe the Rec Laws, right?
The Rec Laws, yeah.
Put that song out for us. Chris Cuthbert, our old friend CC, when he was calling games, actually, he and Glenn, there was a play where it was 3rd and 1, and they did run it out of shotgun. And he pointed that out. But finally, for one moment, that the lyrics in that song actually made some sense. So who knew? Anything's possible, I guess.
Of course Cuthbert would be on top of it, eh?
Exactly.
He does it again. Yeah. Oh, that's too good. That's still a banger to me. I like that song. And regular co-host Eric.
3rd and 1 from the gun. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes lyrics don't make sense, Rod. It's how most of music works, right? So I guess that's good. All right, let's I want to get to some bigger league picture stuff, but let's just start with last week. You had that Ticats Red Blacks game, which we were sitting at the Regina Airport watching it, and a few of us had some investment in the over of that football game because I thought it was going to be a high scoring affair. So I was a little surprised that it was that wasn't as run and gun as we thought. But in the end, Bo Levi and Kenny Lawler get it done. That's a big win for the Ticats considering what they're fighting for in the East right now.
Yeah, what was the over-under, by the way?
Well, we had even adjusted it down to 47.5. It still didn't
still in trouble.
Yeah, because it was 53.5, I think, because I moved it on a teaser by like 6 points. So, because usually I thought Drew Brown and Bo Reed's going to throw it like 40 times in that football game, but it just wasn't the case.
Well, it took him a while. It took him a while to get Lawler going, Dusty, and Bo himself. That offense was not in sync the way it was. It was crazy. in Toronto what was going on. I mean, it was pitch and catch, as Matt Dunnigan used to say. But no, in that one, Ottawa's defense did a pretty good job. They were mindful, of course, of what Lawler had done to the Argos, what Bo and Lawler had done, and they kept him in check. And he didn't get that many targets. But as we see with that guy, eventually, even if you cover him, even if you got him covered like a blanket, it just doesn't matter. He's eventually going to get his catches, and that was unbelievable. He had one catch, that first touchdown was just crazy because it was C.J. Colden, the corner for the Red Blacks. The coverage was perfect. I don't know how much better he could be, but guys, he's got those sticky hands, and he gets his hand on the ball. That's it. So I'll tell you what, the bigger surprise, and this had the potential of hurting the over-under too. I thought the biggest surprise from Kenny Lawler maybe this season, you come to expect the brilliance. He had one right in his hands and he dropped it. I've never seen that before, which would have been for a first down. I mean, that was about the only thing. That's the only blemish for him so far. But I mean, that was probably as stunning as anything else because you just don't expect that from him.
Bo Levi Mitchell had a very good statistical season last year, but with Kenny on board now, I mean, it's almost like a cheat code. Bo's thrown 11 touchdowns already. 7 of them have been to Kenny Lawler. He's on like a 25 touchdown pace, which seems completely unreasonable. But for Bo at this stage of his career to get a guy like Kenny Lawler, when he already had, I thought, a pretty decent receiving core, I mean, that could extend his career by a couple of years if he keeps Kenny around.
Really good. I mean, their top receiver was Tim White. And Tim White can be an outstanding receiver. Early last year, he did have some drops when Bo was trying to get going. And I don't know how much that, contributed to the overall just slowing down of that offense because Bo is he's one of this generation's greatest deep ball passers, but he needs, a deep ball threat. And Tim White can be that. Absolutely. They have good receivers, but there's nobody like Lawler. And to put those two together, you're right. It is like a cheat code. We're seeing that now. I mean, give Ted Gavaya especially credit coming over from Winnipeg, and they paid the money to get Lawler. But so far, I mean, it is really paying off for them because you get a guy that loves to chuck it deep the way Bo does, and a guy that loves to go and get it the way Lawler does. And I'm really looking forward just to seeing what Hamilton can do with that combination the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's interesting because which game? What do you want? Do you have Friday Night Football? Is that where are you in Winnipeg?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Winnipeg. You had the first. I was watching actually the game you had a couple of weeks ago with Winnipeg at Calgary.
Yeah,
and so I got that rematch, and then I got the rematch with the Ticats and the Red Blacks.
Okay,
in
so
Ottawa,
you got Friday, Sunday, yeah.
And you get the other two.
Yeah,
right?
so like Hamilton's interesting because I'm doing the Montreal game, and I did the Montreal Toronto game earlier in the year too. So I like when you get to do the same two teams again. You get it. It's easy. But do you think so? They're going to get Davis Alexander back. Do you think Hamilton can keep pace with Montreal in the East throughout the season? Yeah, you do. Eh?
I wondered before. I mean, that first one a few weeks ago, that was win number 1 for the Ticats, loss number 1 for the Alouettes, and Hamilton had a good game. They had that rookie Verisak who had the pick 6. McLeod started instead of Alexander. So there were different circumstances. You might have said, yeah, it could be a bit of a one-off. But having seen Montreal against BC, and the Lions, with the exception of the first drive, did a pretty good job defending against them, albeit once again with MBT at quarterback and not, but McLeod McLeod can rack up the stats.
He can still throw the ball. Yeah.
This isn't it's not like a huge fall off going to your number 2 QB when it's Bethel Thompson. And I just thought the Alouettes are a really good team, but I mean, they're not infallible, and Hamilton is better, and they're getting better every week, I think, even though they weren't as explosive this time against Ottawa. Their defense really stepped up and then got some big plays. And so I think, I think those teams are really close, more because Hamilton's really picking it up right now than the Alouettes are falling off. But it's interesting. Technically, Hamilton, I guess you could say, is in first place because,
they are.
Head to head the victory, right? So.
TSN's Rod Smith with us on the show. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please tell your friends how easy it is to stream us every single day from 6 until 6. Edmonton goes into a bye week, and look, there's a pretty decent crowd here on Sunday, and then they put together a dud. Now BC, I think, with Nathan Rourke is they're 3-1 with Nathan. He's got 3 300-yard games. They're going to be they're going to be an issue for some of these good teams in the West, but. And we're going to have Scianitti on a little bit later on because I know he's talking about it on the panel as well. Trey Ford or Cody Fajardo coming out of a bye week? Where you're at right now. I mean, what do you do?
I don't know. I feel for the organization and everybody involved this way, just because of what they've been through in recent years. I mean, you know better than anyone when it was Trey and everyone wanted Trey over Taylor Cornelius, and Trey was winning, and then MBT comes in and same sort of story. And they really feel it's important as they try to turn this thing around to make a solid commitment to Trey Ford and not have these questions. Trouble is, after the start that they've had and the way Trey looked, the way they weren't able to move the football this time against BC, and you got a guy who's a Grey Cup MVP waiting in the wings. I don't know. I was listening to you and Dwayne on that game, and 40, I thought, made an interesting point too when you guys were talking about it, that, they had the experiment of putting Cody in the previous game against Ottawa where Trey looked so good.
Yeah.
Had some people scratching their heads. And, I get it. They just wanted to, it was important for them to pull Trey back for a series or two just to observe and then get back in the game. And they had said this week that could happen again. And this was the kind of game where you think it probably should have happened. Get him out and see what Cody can do earlier, not just, not when the game is already out of hand, and just see what kind of momentum swing you could get. Now, I don't know what their thinking is on this, that if you put Cody in and Cody starts moving that offense down the field, are we back into another situation where Trey Ford's hold as the starting QB becomes tenuous again? But hey, it's especially losing to the Lions. I mean, it's precarious. It's still early in the season, but we're hitting past the quarter point, third of the way through, and losing to the Lions, who are now at 3-3, and they host Saskatchewan, a game you'll be doing coming up. I mean, they can't afford again to fall too far behind in this, in last place in the West. So that's a tough decision because Cody Fajardo can play. He was a good quarterback last year in Montreal until he got hurt, came back. It's not like they'd completely soured on him, and part of it was a money thing, and they really did not want to lose Davis Alexander, young, talented, and the future, and that's why they made that decision. But it doesn't mean Fajardo can't play, and so for Mark Killam, that's going to be a tough choice if Trey can't get things turned around soon.
Yeah, as you can probably guess, off the air around the office here, we talk a lot about the Canadian Football League. And we were discussing yesterday, and I said, look, you brought in Cody Fajardo, if not for this moment, then for when? And I don't think it's a slight to Trey to say, hey, look, and Trey had a really good game against Ottawa. He wasn't good last game. They only have one win. I mean, I think coming out of a bye week, you could sit down to Trey and say, look, Cody, this is not a slight to get pulled for Cody Fajardo. You just mentioned how good he has been recently. So you go to Cody for a few games. Maybe you put together some victories. If you do, then you run with them. If you don't, Trey gets the rest of the season and you get your answer on Trey Ford as a quarterback by the end of the year. I think that's probably what you have to do at this point, but we'll see.
And it's interesting, Dusty. The decision is so much more complicated because of the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Because Trey Ford has been in the middle of a quarterback controversy or discussion. As I say, first with Cornelius. I'm trying to think of who else it might have been. I don't know if he even goes back to...
Well, it was him and Cornelius. It was kind of him and Cornelius back and forth. And then MBT last year, right? Because it was MBT's team, and then everybody's chanting for Trey every game at the stadium. And
I could almost imagine that they had this conversation where we've got to commit to this guy. We got to let him know it's his job, and he's not one bad performance and he's out of there. We got to let him know. Fans want him. I mean, He's been a winner. He's 9 heading into this season on a team that is far below a winning record over 3 years. He's 9-9. So, I mean, he was doing something right. But as you say, if you're living in the moment, if you're living it for this season, and you got a guy who was a Grey Cup MVP and has shown in the past that he can win ball games, obviously. I mean, how long are you going to wait? And I wonder if Mark would decide to, go with Cody and see how it goes, and maybe not a quick trigger, but let Trey know that, the job is still his. I mean, if the offense falters, you sit back and watch a little bit and then get back in. I don't know how to handle, but I do think that the years leading up to this has made it a lot more complicated than it would have been otherwise.
Two other areas I want to go to, and Dwayne did bring this one up when we were doing that game. You know how it is when you're broadcasting a game that gets a little of a hand in the fourth quarter. Some conversations pop up, and he was talking about having 3 nominees for the awards at the end of the year, as opposed to East versus West. And we caught up with the new commissioner in Winnipeg a couple weeks ago, and some of these topics popped up. I like it because it creates more conversation. You could have 3 markets talking about it. I could be 3 guys from the West. And I think with the new commissioner, and you would know him much better from his days at Bell than I would, but I feel like there is an appetite to kind of change a few things here or there. To me, that's one that I think would actually have a lot of support. What do you think about 3 finalists for each award year? It doesn't matter which side they come from.
I am absolutely in favor of it, 100%. There is this whole thing evolved from an East-West thing, since 1948 when the Stampeders came into Toronto and brought the horses in the Royal York and played Ottawa in the Grey Cup, and the East-West component of the CFL, just uniting the country that way was very, very important, and I'm still on board with that. That is the one East-West thing. Like, I wouldn't want to go to.
So you like the East-West? Okay, all right.
I like that. I like it for the championship.
Yeah,
I like it for the Grey Cup.
That's
but that's the last thing I would hang on to. And even then, if eventually it gets to the point where the imbalance is so bad, and we've seen some years where the West has been so dominant that there've been some weak representatives. This is going years back, but. Where the East had some weak representatives in the Grey Cup. I mean, one year Ottawa was 5-11 and got into the Grey Cup against Edmonton and nearly won. Bizarre. Yeah. But anyway, but that said, I hang on. I'm a traditionalist, and I do want to hang on to that East-West showdown in the Grey Cup. But everything else, to me, is fair play. You got 3 players from the same team. Put them in. Make them the nominees. I mean, Winnipeg has had some scenarios where you could have put 2 players in. You could have had
Zach and Brady in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and 40's point, I heard you guys talking about it. You could have had, Justin McInnes, leading receiver in the CFL, Canadian. Brady Oliveira, leading rusher in the CFL, Canadian. I think that would have been awesome. And that's with 2 there. But yeah, make it 3. I'm good with that. I have no problem with that at all. I'd like to see the very best, being voted for, being in contention for these individual awards.
The other thing I was trying to push on Stu, and we didn't talk about it on the broadcast, but it was like to me, and I suggested that we have our most outstanding defensive player. I think we take a most outstanding offensive player, and then we change MOP to MVP. And you change it so, the guy who throws 5,000 yards could be the MVP, but he's probably going to be the most outstanding offensive player. And then it was a good discussion. Now, it was just at the Elephant Castle in Winnipeg over a couple of beers. So who knows if we remember it clearly. But I don't mind the idea of, and we vote on these things. I like the idea of the most valuable, because I think we view the most outstanding as the most valuable anyway. You know what I mean? I might just be nitpicking the name here, but.
Yeah, not to switch sports, but did you ever have any discussions about the true definition of the Hart Trophy? Because I remember having arguments about this, that is it the most outstanding player or is it the one who's most valuable to their team? Because that's the true definition with the Hart Trophy, most valuable to their team. And there is a little bit of a,
I think it varies year to year in the NHL, sometimes it's a guy who drags his team to the playoffs. Sometimes it's a guy who wins, has the most points, so it's.
There you go. And I think what they wanted to do, and and it's one of those CFL quirks that I used to wonder about, but I don't mind it now. It's the mop. Who wins the mop?
The mop.
But it's one of those things I've just gotten used to. And I think the spirit of it, they decided, okay, we're not going to make it most valuable to the team. We want to award just a player that's
just the best dude, the best player in the league.
Yeah. I think that was the spirit of it. That was the intention, but it is different than, the way everybody else does it. It's MVP. So.
Yeah, when I'm trying to break it down every year, when going through the votes, I'm always like, okay, well, this guy's the most important to his team, but I'm like, Dusty, no, it has to be most outstanding. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it gets there. Rod, great stuff, man. This was an awesome chat. I love catching up with you. We usually don't get to cross paths much during the season.
I was just going to say, this is our chance to, face-to-face as it were, rarely, but anyway. But thank you. Thanks for having me on again. Anytime.
Yeah, you got best of luck with your 2 games this weekend, man. We'll chat again soon.
You as well. Thanks, Dusty.
That's Rod Smith, the voice of the CFL on TSN, and he'll have the Friday and Sunday games this week, and I will have the Thursday and Saturday games this week as well. That was a great conversation. A couple of things popping up over in the chat, and of course you can text us. By the way, Rod's one of the all-time best dudes. He's just such a good guy. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. So I was texting with somebody yesterday who has pretty good sources around the league, and he was hinting to me that he thinks it probably will be Cody Fajardo coming off the bye week. So something to keep in mind. The discussion is there. Keegan over on the chat says, if the Elks get rid of Trey, another team will take him and he'll succeed. And Keegan, I understand what you're saying on that level, but I'm not 100% sure I'm there with you on that yet. Like, first of all, you can't hang the season on him so far. He was not good last game. He had some decent games. Their defense sucks. That's not helping the situation. But I haven't seen anything from Trey yet that makes me think, if he goes somewhere else, he's going to light it up. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but there are things that Trey Ford can do that nobody else can do, but there are things that everybody else can do that Trey just can't yet do. And I think he has to get to that point where he can do a lot of those, and then you could possibly see something special. Abutsky over in the chat says, I hope that I'm as classy as Rod when I get to be his age. That was a good conversation. And we're going to continue because I know Scianitti on the panel, I think he was kind of pushing for them to go to Fajardo. So I want to get Scianitti on and get his thoughts on this as well. Plus, Scianetti's a huge Chucks guy, and he wasn't wearing them for the game he did on Saturday. I don't know what's up with that. What's wrong with this guy right now? So we're gonna get into that a little bit as well. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Terp from Toefield is coming back around to that Rec Laws song. I'm gonna circle back. 3rd and 1 from the gun. I mean, it doesn't happen. Somebody said, Terp from Toefield says it should be 3rd and 1. Time to run. Right? That would be. That's probably it. Let's. The 3rd and 1 thing is really rattling me here.
Red sky fading. Let's do this right.
It does sound nice though.
What you drinking's what I'm drinking. Who's got a light? We about to kick off this 9 to 5 from dusk till dawn. Man, it's on. CFL on TSN. Music's playing, yeah, we're swaying. Crank it to 10. These stars are falling like confetti, so wish on one for the gun. 3rd and 1 from the gun underneath those Thursday night lights. Singing long.
3rd and 1, gotta run. That would be, I think that might be 3rd and 1, get it done. Hey, Trev, what do you think? 3rd and 1, get it done. Like, I think that would work.
Yeah, I like get it done.
Yeah, 3rd and 1, get it done. Yeah, underneath the something lights. Long. We should go karaoke that. You and me.
I love that.
We're going to karaoke the Rec Laws, Long Live the Night, Thursday Night Football version?
Yes.
Okay.
I would love that. You big karaoke guy?
God, I would love if they actually had those words. Like if you could do that at karaoke. I'm not a big karaoke guy unless I had like 15 double spice rums.
Yeah.
But that would be something if like we pull that out and somebody at the bar is like, yes, Rec Laws, CFL, let's go. That would be too good. Yeah, I do like that. All right, we're going to dive into our Play Alberta early bird bet of the day. That's coming up. Matt Scianitti's going to be by around 7:45. We've got confessions coming up as well. God. Atif just texts me on my phone and says, hey, buddy, this is the Ike Howard song that came up with on AI. You don't have to play the whole thing, but it's pretty good. Technically, Atif, I don't have to play any of it. But maybe I'll take a peek when Trev's doing the update at 7:30. And I mean, it's not likely to happen, but it is July 15th. It is like it's almost the middle of the summer. Maybe we do have time for an Atif AI-generated Ike Howard song. Maybe not. We'll see.
I've been disappointed. I've been, as far as fans go for Atif, I've been his biggest fan, but I've been very let down.
I do want to tell you about this. We had a great time at the EST Golf Classic. We are teaming up with the Capital Care Foundation for their golf tournament as well. So if you'd like to come, the EST crew is going to be broadcasting live all day at Redtail Landing Golf Club. August 22nd, 8:30 shotgun start. I think we're going to auction off a chance to golf with myself, possibly Luke Gazdick as well. Gaz is coming out for this. It should be a pretty good time, and we will be broadcasting all day out at Redtail that day. So maybe, maybe EST Classic early July. You want to golf again late August for a charity, for a good cause. Let's hop on that right now. So if you go to edmontonsportstalk.com, and right along the top, you'll see Capital Care Golf. Click on that for more information. Maybe you couldn't get in to our golf tournament because it fills up essentially immediately. Join us on this day. It should be fun. A bunch of the EST staff will be out there. We'll all be out there broadcasting all day. A few of us will be playing in the event as well, and it should be a pretty good time. Redtail is a great tournament course, and we're very much looking forward to it. So August 22nd at Redtail. Just go to edmontonsportstalk.com, click on the Capital Care Golf at the top, and you'll easily be able to find your way from there. Let's get a look at what's happening with our partners over at Play Alberta, the title sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. If you've not yet downloaded the Play Alberta app, please do. Make sure you use your game sense when you're playing over there. We've got a couple of EST specials that are up right now. The grandest parlay remains up. Those guys they went crazy yesterday. It's plus 765. PSV to win the Eredivisie. I don't even know what that is. Leinster to win United Rugby Championship. OKC over 62.5 wins. And Piastri to win the F1 Drivers' Championship. Full respect to the DGen Den for putting this thing together. I'm not even sure of what half of it is. And if this wouldn't cash at least until OKC finishes the regular season next year, but I'm riding with you. I'm gonna put a small little sprinkle on that one right now. Done. Early bird bet is up. We're just going with the under 7.5 runs in the All-Star game tonight. I think that is hit in 6 of the last 8 All-Star games. I know, cowards take the under, but it's an all-star game. A lot of elite pitching. I'll take the under at minus 139. And we'll get into this a little bit more in the lock shop today at 11 o'clock. But how about the movement in these CFL games? Argos Alouettes opened at 5 or 4.5, I think. It was at 7.5 yesterday. It's at 8.5 now. Davis Alexander is confirmed to go for Montreal. Chad Kelly rehabbing as of right now in Buffalo. We'll see if he goes. I thought he was supposed to go. This is obviously a Davis Alexander plays line and a Chad Kelly doesn't play line, but that's moved significantly to 8.5. The Bombers were 5-point home favorites yesterday. That line has moved down to 3.5. So if you liked Calgary, had to get on them yesterday at the 5 points. This is why we always say you want to hop on these CFL lines early because there's some value early in the week. No movement on the Riders and Lions. It's still sitting at 1.5. Ticats, basically a pick 'em against Ottawa. They're a 1-point favorite against the Red Blacks this week. Find all that action over at playalberta.ca. Use our code if you haven't already. EST Sports. Deposit 20. Get a $50 free bet with the code EST Sports. Weekly confessions on the way next. What do you need to confess? Let's get those out. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Spectrum Rentals locked in. Oh, that's a good one. Ties into sports perfectly right now. Good job, boys. We'll get to weekly confessions for Spectrum Rental. Text your confessions. I hope Trev has something hilarious. Text your confessions to 780-218-9999. Matt Scianitti from TSN around 7:45 today. Let's get to a sports update right now with YouTube Trevor Park Mazda.
behind the bench in Edmonton, the Oilers have added 3 new coaches in Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Connor Allen, while reassigning Paul Coffey to special advisor to ownership and hockey operations. The Buffalo Sabres locked up their young defenseman in Bowen Byram with the 2-year, $12.5 million extension that skips arbitration. The 24-year-old had a career high in points last season with 38 points. Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners made history in Atlanta last night, winning the 2025 Home Run Derby and becoming the first catcher and first switch hitter to claim the title. He edged out Junior Caminero 18-15 in the finals, powering 54 total homers on the night, bringing home the iconic chain and $1 million prize. And according to Farhan Lalji, Edmonton Elks Jake Ceresna's imaging on his knee came back clean, and he could be back in a couple of weeks. The New York Jets have locked up their star wide receiver Garrett Wilson with the ground-breaking 4-year, $130 million extension, including $90 million guaranteed. Since being drafted in 2022, Wilson has put up 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. The Sports Update is brought to you by the fine folks at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, your dealer for life.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as newborn 8-pound, 6-ounce Mitch Lewicki. You can picture grown-up Mitch, or teenage Mitch, or bearded Mitch, or whoever you want.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
There's this young hockey player named Ike Howard. He just won the Hopi Breaker Award. He played his college hockey with Minnesota, Duluth, and then he went to Michigan State to be a Spartan. Ike Howard was drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning, but could not come up with a deal with them. Ike Howard has now been traded to the Edmonton Oilers with a chance to play with Connor McDavid on the top line. Ike has a shot as fear as gold, as can score from anywhere on the ice. His nickname is the Iceman. Ooh, 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 ooh.
All right, so there's that. That is the Ike Howard song that Atif made.
Didn't really run, but I don't care. I didn't mind.
I don't mind it. I mean, it's a lot better. This is not me. For everybody's like, this is not me. Spency 5 cents. He says Dusty's drunk with. No, listen, this is not me. And I don't think Atif. I think Atif just told AI write a song about Ike Howard. Yeah. Like I don't think Atif did any lyrics up, and he definitely didn't do the music. And it's definitely better than him just going Ike Howard. Yeah. Ike Howard.
It is.
I want to hate it, but I think I kind of low key really like this.
There's this young hockey player named Ike Howard. He just won the Hopi Breaker Award.
Hopi Breaker Award.
He played his college hockey with Minnesota, Duluth, and then he went to Michigan State to be a Spartan. Ike Howard was drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning, but could not come up with a deal with them. Ike Howard has now been traded to the Edmonton Oilers with a chance to play with Connor McDavid on the top line. Ike has a shot as fear as gold, as can score from anywhere on the ice. His nickname is the Iceman. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I'm like 3 weeks weeks away from dancing to that at the Nasty Bash.
I'm already dancing to that. Teef, I salute you.
Atif,
you redeemed yourself.
Atif, you didn't do the lyrics, right? Did you just say?
I think he did the lyrics.
Did he do the lyrics?
Well, it doesn't rhyme.
Well,
he's never really.
It's true. It doesn't. It doesn't rhyme.
Strong point.
There's.
It's never been his strength is rhyming.
Anyway, we got our sound of the day for the rap.
Hobie Break
the
Award.
Hobie Break Award
or Bake. So
yeah,
I feel like that's why.
All right. Well, there's that. So we are on fire today.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll come back around to that for sure. Let's get into your weekly confessions. 780-218-9999. What do you need to confess today? 780. Come on. I know there's many of you who are like, kind of like the Ike Howard song.
Yeah. Damn it.
Spectrum Rental presents weekly confessions, and they confess to not caring about the MLB All-Star game. They do, however, have their own full All-Star lineup of construction and landscaping equipment. Of course they do. Spectrum Rental, keeping your project on time. And that's important, especially if you're doing a project on your own. You want to keep it on time. You don't want to look like a bunch of city workers having things delayed by months and months and months. Nothing against city workers. I know it's more the planners that are causing issues, but yes, Spectrum Rental. Keep your project on time with their all-star lineup of construction and landscaping equipment. What do you have to confess? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. What are you confessing, Trev?
Yeah, let's get this done. Let's get this. Before Matt Scianitti is in the queue, I want to make sure I get this.
Okay.
So yesterday was International Nude Day. Correct? Or was it?
Yeah, it was.
It was mac and cheese.
It was
and
both.
Nude Day.
It was National Nude Day and Mac and Cheese Day.
And so, I mean, this is relevant, so I'm going to say it. And I was already going to bring this up. It's the dog days of summer. You know, why not? But I mean, there's no better time than now because yesterday was International Nude Day. So, yeah, I confess I was a part of Instagram page when I was in, my early 18 to 21, 18 to 22. Where we would post naked photos of our butts while we were hiking, and it was called "Get Your Butt Out." And so it's been forever since we've obviously now I'm part of the media, and my one buddy is trying to be a doctor, so we haven't updated in a long time. But we just had a night. We were on the peak of I think it was Crow's Nest Mountain. We had the idea. We were like,
okay,
you know what? What if we just we need to get people's butts out? Like we needed. Yeah. So it was always just the back. It was always just our back. It was never the front. But and we were in the pose. Some of the most Dusty. I'll show you this after, obviously. But whether you're on the top of a peak and it's just mountains, and we'd be posing like Captain Morgan.
With your butts out.
Yeah, just some of the most majestic poses you'd ever seen, and it would be called "Get Your Butt Out." And I'm proud of it, but it wasn't just in Canada. My buddy, he was in China.
So it went international.
It went international.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
That was the thing. And so it was called Get Your Butt Out. And that was kind of our message, was to try to encourage people to go out and hike. And my thing was fishing. So whenever I was fishing,
we'd see your butt.
I would be fishing, and it would be beautiful.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Just the two of you?
There was 5 of us.
There's 5 of you.
So we'd have all 5 of us looking, posing, naked. And,
I feel like if you do that now, it would have blown up on TikTok.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And it was funny. We ended up getting a decent following. I think the page ended up getting 3,000 followers.
What?
On Instagram. Yeah. It was kind of people were like, what the heck is this? But yeah, that was
Duck Dad over in the chat says, great idea. How did that not become your main revenue stream? I guess that's a good one.
But,
all right.
So that's my little confession. I had to get that out there. Why not? I don't care anymore.
Boy, I'm not going to top that confession. I did not have an Instagram page in my early 20s where I showed my ass. So you win. You win confessions today.
Thank you.
My confession is that I think I actually do like that song that Atif sent. I mean, that's a new one.
I don't blame you.
My other confession is that so during the smoke delay on Friday night.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is probably not how most people operate. But I had like 3 hours to do nothing, and I was pissed because I didn't bring my laptop because I could have caught up on some EST side work. I was like, damn it. This could have been 3 valuable hours to catch up on other stuff. I was furious. I was just sitting there. I was like, God, I was so frustrated. Let's get to some of your confessions. This one in from Red says, guys, confession. On July 3rd, my wife, daughter, mom, and I flew to BC for our vacation. That morning was where there was all those bomb threats at the airport, and I didn't tell them until we landed and got out of the airport. My wife said I should have told her. I said, no chance. What's a guy got to do? Red, that's exactly what I would have done. No reason to create panic. You're going to be a calming influence for your family. I think you handled it perfectly. Let's get to this one over on YouTube this morning. Send your confession, 780-218-9999. Kate over on YouTube says, guys, I confess that I threw out my niece's ice cream birthday cake, which she left in the freezer for more than a year and refused to throw it out. I said I dropped it and smashed it, but that was a lie. God, how about this one? Here's another confession from me. It was my wife's birthday yesterday, and I totally forgot to get her a cake of some sort until about 3:30 in the afternoon. And it wasn't until the kids brought it up, and I was like, damn, you're right. So then I was going to go back out, but then we ended up ordering in, and we ordered in some fancy brownies. So we made that her cake last night. And she was happy with it because she likes brownies. So I think in the end, it worked out, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, who's supposed to remember the cake? You're doing a bunch of other stuff. This is why it always really impresses me when she handles kids' birthdays and they're perfect. And then I have a chance to handle her birthday and I fumble it. Not good. Not good. All right. There you go. Confessions, 780-218-9999. I think our next guest might have a confession as to why he was not wearing Chucks on Saturday, the CFL on TSN. Let's bring in Matthew Scianitti this morning. Completely unacceptable, Scianitti.
What's up, Dusty? Well, the bigger confession I guess I have to make is like why I was wearing shorts, because so often now I wear suits all the time, and when people don't see me in a suit, they're so shocked. But the reason I wasn't wearing a suit is it was, as I'm sure it's been in Alberta, it's been a million friggin' degrees here in Southern Ontario. So I ripped the seat of my pants all the way through getting into my car, and I had to make a decision. And my decision was like, well, I got to wear shorts and I got to put this golf top on. But for the shoes, it's funny because those shoes actually have the Canadian national anthem written in English and French. I wore them when I went to the World Cup, and I've been wearing them as kind of let's just say my own elbows up protest through.
Okay, there we go.
But our CFL and TSN producer Jamie Rydell said the reason I put my Chucks on the desk on Sunday was because he said, "Don't you come into the studio without wearing Chucks." So I was like, all right.
Hey, when you become that guy, when you're Chuck guy, you kind of have to be Chuck guy. So
I'd rather it be that than something else, than anything else, Dusty. So I'm okay with that.
Do you have a short suit like John Lou used to roll, where it was like suit material but shorts?
Nobody's John Lou. Nobody can pull that off. He did that as like a homage to LeBron James, and one of his shorts. And
I respect it even more now. I respect it even more.
But the thing is, he also had, and John Lou's now retired after an amazing career at TSN, and he also had the sweatsuit shirt with the hoodie, and
it looks so comfortable.
And the thing is, nobody else could pull that off. It would only be Johnny. Johnny's the only guy who could. If I wore that, I'd look like an idiot.
He didn't though. He always looked good. I don't know.
He always looked good. And that hair, man, that hair was glorious. John Lou, man.
Yeah. I mean, when you got hair like that, you pretty much wear whatever you want.
100%.
So shout out John Lou, who, as Scianitti said, has since retired. We had Rod Smith on a little bit earlier in the show today. We're talking about some bigger picture stuff around the league, but we're also talking about the Ticats, and with the Alouettes getting Davis Alexander back here right away. Do you think the Ticats hang tight with Montreal in a race for top spot in the East?
I think those matchups, I mean, they don't obviously play this week, but inevitably when they play, the way that the Ticats play offensively and the way that they're trying to push the ball downfield, especially to Kenny Lawler.
Yeah.
And against that secondary, when you think about Kevion Ento and Marc-Antoine Dequoy, that's a juicy matchup. But the Alouettes set the pace in the East, irrespective of the fact that they're 3-2. Irrespective of, they lost the game basically on 2/100ths of a second. which I mean is very much within the narrative and the excitement of the CFL, but I don't think is an indictment on the Montreal Alouettes. I still think they're a great team. You and I will be in Montreal in a couple of days for Thursday Night Football. And it's a huge game. It's a huge, I mean, I still think it's bigger for the Argos, especially now that they've lost Ryan Hunter, who got injured. They're starting right tackle, the most outstanding offensive lineman. I mean, the Argos can't catch a break. Chad Kelly's still not healthy. Wyndham McManus is practicing, but only in limited capacity. And this is weird territory for Ryan Dinwiddie, because in the 3-4 years he's been the Argos head coach, the Argos, they don't get to a point where they have a record like this. They're usually hovering around 500 or utterly dominating the East. So this will be interesting, but Montreal will definitely, inside Percival Molson, want to make a statement after that loss against BC.
How close is Kelly? What's the latest on this guy?
Well, it's funny. I was speaking to some of the personnel staff, and he splits his time between Toronto and Buffalo, and he trains right now trying to build up stability in his leg. Because the one thing the Argos have said constantly, Ryan Dinwiddie has said this to me over and over again, we want him to have the confidence that he can kind of break out of the pocket, he can move laterally, he can push off his foot. Now, Chad Kelly told Paul LaPolice at the beginning of the season that he was ready to go and only weeks away. That's maybe his own wishful thinking. But it was a gruesome injury that happened during the East Final last year. And for a guy like that who can throw off platform, who has a lot of power, especially when he runs, if he pushes off and he doesn't have the stability or the strength in that leg and it goes wrong, I mean, that's the end of his, could be the end of his season all over again. So I don't doubt, having been around Kelly as much as I have, and certainly when you look back at that Argos Ticats game and the way that he was apparently chirping at Bo Levi Mitchell, he is chomping at the bit to get back on the field. But I'm hearing still it's a few weeks away, probably the beginning of August.
Just staying in the East with Bo and Kenny, and we mentioned them a little bit earlier. I mean, it sounds crazy to think that they can kind of stay on the pace that the rest, like Kenny's got 7 touchdowns already this year, but I also don't know who really slows him down. I mean, if it's a one-on-one situation, I mean, Bo's going to keep throwing it to him all year, isn't he?
Yeah, but and if he's not, and this has kind of been the other side of the Ticats offense right now, is that there's been so many near misses to Tim White. And the second that he catches Tim White in stride down the middle, it opens up on a whole new dynamic in their offense. We're not even talking about Shamar Bridges, who had a great rookie season last year. And the one thing Bo told us last week, he's like, during practice, I'm going to Shamar Bridges saying, your time is going to come. It was an ugly win against the Red Blacks. Kind of felt like another game that the Red Blacks gave away. And especially when you take a look at what happened between Edmonton and BC, and that looking back on the Edmonton Red Blacks game. I mean, the Red Blacks, of any team in the East, just find every single way they can to lose football games, which I know is incredibly frustrating to Bob Dice. But going back to the Ticats, they just have so many capabilities in their offense, and they've shown now over the last 2 weeks they can win in a spectacular shootout fashion. We'll bury with deep bombs to Kenny Lawler, and we'll also be able to gut it out, again, with touchdowns to Kenny Lawler. So I go back to that matchup against Montreal, knowing that Montreal is still the team to beat in the East, knowing how physical Norththorpe defense is, and that when they inevitably meet up again down the line, especially in Montreal, that Hamilton's offense is going to have to be a little more multiples. Not dismissing the fact that Kenny Lawler, I mean, I said this on the panel, watching those catches over the last 2 weeks, to see them in person is insane, because it is almost like time slows down when that ball gets to Kenny, because he just grabs it, and it doesn't matter how many defenders are draped all over him, he's going to come up with the touchdown. So it is, especially when you think about how much fun it always is to watch a quarterback and number one receiver duo, and the fact that the Ticats haven't had that in a very long time. It's been pretty exciting to watch them both.
Matt Scianitti with us on the show this morning. I want to get to your thoughts on the situation here in Edmonton. I saw on the panel, I think it was on probably the post-game hit, chatting with the guys about what to do at quarterback here right now. And I thought you were kind of pushing a little bit towards trying to make a case for Cody Fajardo, which I think the case is easy to be made to go to him right now. Not the start that they wanted. Simple as that. Trey put together a good, tidy, didn't throw it a ton, but was effective against Ottawa, and then 2 of 8 in the first half. I thought maybe they'd give him the first series of the second half and then get a look at Cody, considering how important that game was against BC. But coming out of a bye week, what do you think they do? How do you handle this situation right now?
Yeah, it's tough, Dusty, because I think we all know the physical capabilities that Trey Ford has. There's no doubt when you watch him, especially go off schedule, be able to move around the pocket, make something happen. It's part of the thing that makes the offenses in the CFL so entertaining. But if you can't complete certain throws, and we've seen interceptions kind of sprinkled going all the way back to the first game against BC, and certainly the ineffectiveness that he had against the Lions secondary. How could you not discuss the fact that you have Cody Fajardo, who was a Grey Cup MVP 2 years ago, sitting right behind him? It's not meant to be an indictment of Trey Ford as a football player. It's just like, this is a business. And the Elks invested a lot in their lineup, and especially on defense, and they've had injuries.
Yeah.
But you look at the other side, this was all about giving Trey Ford an opportunity. And so far, it hasn't worked out. Now, on offense, as much as the quarterback is the most important position on a football team, the fact still remains that if you can't go ahead and find a rhythm and find your place as a starting quarterback, if you're not operating, if you're inconsistent, in this league especially, they're going to give the other guy a look. And I've seen it happen a ton of times, whether it was in Hamilton, whether it was in Toronto. I understand that Trey Ford's a little different because he's a Canadian quarterback and has, all this obvious talent. But the object is to win. And I know he knows that. And I've spoken to coaches who, have been around him for a long time, and they know how hyper competitive he is and how much he's dedicated to the game. But that wasn't a great performance. And the Elks need a win. And you got to go to the guy who they think is the best guy to give him an opportunity. And the question is, does everyone think it's actually Trey Ford? And if it is, well, then you're going to have to live and die with whatever happens. But if you have the opportunity to see what you have in Cody Fajardo, why not take it?
Great stuff, buddy. Really appreciate it. And I guess I will see you on Thursday.
Have a good flight, Dusty. We'll see you in Montreal.
Yeah, there you go. That's Matt Scianitti. Does a great job covering a lot of different sports, but we wanted to chat some CFL with him as well. Basically, does an amazing job covering soccer for TSN as well. And, I like to do like a little walk and talk in the morning. This guy's doing walk and talks on broadcasts. I mean, he's one of the best in the country, and a good conversation there too. And so we've had both Rod and Scianitti chime in on this whole Trey Ford, Cody Fajardo situation. And I mean, if you're ranking the top 9 quarterbacks in the league right now, Cody Fajardo's probably in there and Trey Ford isn't. That might be like last year before Cody Fajardo got hurt, he was one of the front runners for MOP. Last year. We're not talking 5 years ago. We're talking last year. So I think it's there's two ways to look at it here. Do you want to try to salvage the season and make a push to the playoffs? If that is your main focus, then you got to give Fajardo a look. Give him a couple games. Let's see what he can do. We know what Trey can and can't do. And what he can and can't do has led to one win. Not just all on him, I get it, but it's the quarterback. And we're sitting here talking about, anytime you ask anything about Trey Ford, the first answer everybody always says is, he's great when he goes off script. Nobody ever says, he's a really good quarterback from the pocket. Ever. Nobody's ever said that. So for me, you know what you have in Trey. You know that with this current team, it has not led to victories. One, against another one-win team. You brought in Cody Fajardo for this exact reason. If the team struggles out of the gate, you bring in a veteran quarterback. That's why he exists here. So you go to Cody Fajardo. You give him a couple games. Let's say he wins the first game, he gets a second one. Let's say he plays well, but they lose a tight one in the second one, he gets a third one. If he comes in and they go 0-2, 0-3, then boom, you go back to Trey. You tell Trey, look, dude, you got 10 games. We will determine if you are a starting quarterback moving forward after those 10 games. Travis, don't you think that's fair? I think that's fair.
I think that's completely fair. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You've got, on one hand, the future, and you're trying to make this player, develop, and, you want to make him good. But
and if that's the main goal this year, then you just stick with Trey.
Yeah.
Right? If you're just trying to develop Trey and you don't care if you win, you don't care if you're out of it by the end of July, which they could be.
Yeah. Are you prepping for the future? You know, like, is this the long run? You want Trey Ford? Is this going to help him? Is he going to be your guy in 1 to 2 to 3 years? Are these games going to help him? Are you trying to rush that? Like, you want to rush that. You want the experience. You want him to be better. But at the same time, when I was on the hangout yesterday, like I saw tweets over the weekend that the 2 most exciting players in the whole CFL go head to head today. That was, obviously when the BC
With Rourke and Ford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, man, like it's just been underwhelming. Like, I was all aboard like the hype train for Trey Ford. I was like, oh, this is sweet. Like last year when he wasn't playing and it was MBT and you just hear the crowd, like, give the people what they want.
They wanted Trey. I mean, yes, they do.
And so now you get him. And I also had mentioned that when he did come in, you were on the call, I remember, but he came in. It was, they ended up losing the game, but he made 3 touchdowns like immediately against Hamilton. And it was like, holy crap, like the hype is real. This is what you want. But dude, I have not seen that at all. Like, it's been very underwhelming. I haven't been excited at all from watching him play. Like, very, very, very small glimpses. And I know, like, I'm new to watching CFL, but as far as watching Nathan Rourke, like, I was like, okay, yeah, like, this guy's legit.
Nathan Rourke and Trey Ford are in completely different classes.
Yeah,
right
man.
now.
But, like, that's why, because there was the hype for the Trey Ford train. And so I'm just, I was all aboard it. I really was. And so, I mean, right now, he's not getting the job done. And is 6 games or 5 games enough? They 1-4.
Third
right?
and 1, games. Get it done.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, how long do you give him? So that's why, if I'm a diehard fan of the Elks, I feel like, a good chunk of Elks fans are going to start thinking, you know what? Maybe we want to start winning now. Maybe we want to win now. So let's bring in Cody.
And I don't think it's an automatic that they just start winning games because their defense has been atrocious anyway. But if you have a guy who won a Grey Cup and was the Grey Cup MVP 2 years ago, 18 months, I think you have to. I think out of respect to Cody, I think you got to give him a shot.
For sure. And you got to think, like, he's probably, like, I know when we had him on the show, he knew his role coming in, but I feel like he might be getting a little bit like, I wouldn't mind getting a few looks. Like, it's that competitive nature, right? You want to be out there for sure, and seeing what Trey's been able to do or lack thereof, you're definitely, like, your natural instinct is, I want to help this team, and I think I could help this team more.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube, take part in the chat. It's really unlike any other thing going on over there because you can chat with other listeners. Hammer the thumbs up for us over there. Jay says, it's like when you have a struggling young goalie. You give him a few games off because you put him in to get shelled, and it isn't helping his development. Jay also says, YTT, a lot of this is on Max Simic, who, for those of you who aren't familiar, is the offensive coordinator of this team. His game plans have been awful. I don't know if I'd say all of his game plans have been awful. He had a couple of really nice called drives, I thought, where they got super creative against Ottawa 2 weeks ago. But I also, like, I want to see Trey Ford have success. I really do. But there hasn't really been anything where I go, got to have him in there. Like, there hasn't been that yet. Andrea from Calgary texts in. A lot of people are going to hate this text. She says, I could listen to CFL talk for an entire 3-hour show. Love, love, love it. That's what I like to hear. And then Red says, they really did give Trey a fair shot. I'm not saying never start him again, but why not give Cody the start next game and see what happens? And as I said, it was hinted to me yesterday, but not by somebody around the Elks. But it was hinted to me yesterday by somebody with some sources around the league that they may be leaning towards Cody Fajardo coming out of the bye week. So that conversation will certainly continue here on EST as we work our way through the day and through the week. Platterpalooza liners coming up. Mr. Mike's gift certificate. Who wants to play kind of easy trivia? Let's go. Text Trev right now, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you would like to play kind of easy trivia this morning. 780-218-9999. Gift certificate up for grabs to Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many on the way. Paul McFarland, new assistant coach of the Oilers. He's going to join us over the phone in about 17 minutes. Gage will be by around 8:30. The wrap for William Huff, all still to come as well. But fire us a text if you want to play kind of easy trivia. KOET, Colette, if you'd like to play today. Text Trev, 780-218-9999. And one of you will have a chance to win that gift certificate to the very delicious Mr. Mike's. Here's a sports update for Windsor Plywood, Leduc with YouTube Trev.
Some changes behind the bench in Edmonton. The Oilers have added 3 new coaches in Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Connor Allen, while reassigning Paul Coffey to special advisor to ownership and hockey operations. The Buffalo Sabres locked up their young defenseman in Bowen Byram with the 2-year, $12.5 million extension that skips arbitration. The 24-year-old had a career high in points last season with 38 points. And Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners made history in Atlanta last night, winning the 2025 Home Run Derby and becoming the first catcher and first switch hitter to claim the title. He edged out Junior Caminero 18-15 in the finals, powering 54 total homers on the night, bringing home the iconic chain and $1 million prize. And according to Farhan Lalji, Edmonton Elks Jake Seresna's imaging on his knee came back clean, and he could be back in a couple of weeks. The New York Jets have locked up star wide receiver Garrett Wilson with a groundbreaking 4-year, $130 million extension, including $90 million guaranteed. Since being drafted in 2022, Wilson has put up 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. The Sports Update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
Young hockey player named Ike Howard. He just won the Hopi Breaker Award. He played his college hockey with Minnesota, Duluth, and then he went to Michigan State to be a Spartan. Ike Howard was drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning, but could not come up with a deal with them. Ike Howard has now been traded to the Edmonton Oilers with a chance to play with Connor McDavid on the top line. Ike has a shot as fear as gold, as can score from anywhere on the ice. His nickname is the Iceman. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Doesn't say summer. What does? Hey, that is not a me AI creation. That was an Atif AI creation. And spoiler alert, it's your sound of the day. We're gonna be coming back around to that. We're gonna play a little kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. Gift certificate is on the line to Mr. Mike's right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. EST, presented by Play Alberta. Download the Play Alberta app today. Use your game sense when you play. We're live in the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. Let's find out what's happening over at Mr. Mike's, shall we? Mr. Mike's is turning up the sizzle with Platypalooza. From barbecue rib platters to coastal combos with lobsters and prawns, it's big flavor all summer long. Plus, enter for your shot at sizzling summer prices. Get into Mr. Mike's. Platypalooza is on. Mr. Mike's. Enjoy locally, eat locally, enjoy casually. I'm starting to get the hang of it.
Yes,
I'm starting to get the hang of it.
I was on the phone there, but great job,
Thanks,
Dusty.
man. I really tried hard there.
Yeah.
That was
Round of clicks. Look at that.
Ladapalooza.
Man, I'm so proud of you.
Maybe I'll have Marshall read that
You're
tomorrow.
a natural. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. That was good. Yeah, Marshall will be good.
Maybe Marshall
Get him
read
on there.
tomorrow.
Just let it all out,
Mr.
buddy.
Mike's just turning up.
Yeah. I can see it now, baby.
If not, he'll love what I'm doing. He'll think it's funny. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, Marshall Keith Nielsen, future CEO of Edmonton Sports Talk, makes his debut. Full-blown Nepo, baby. He's going to be here riding shotgun. And then the Muzz comes storming in around 8:45 tomorrow. And I'm going to tell them each come up with 3 hot takes.
Yeah.
And then they could do a little mini hot takes. Yeah,
That'll be
3's fair. 3's fair.
Yeah.
It's Hot Takes Junior.
Yeah, there we go.
Brought to you by Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Yes.
So my buddy Tadell texts me. He goes, I think a thief just copy and pasted Isaac Howard's Wikipedia page as the lyrics. He goes, but it's a banger.
No way. I'll look at that
We
next.
should double check on that.
Avi, I'll lose. That goes down.
I gotta respect it even more. I mean, he didn't write the lyrics himself. It does look like a cut and paste. Like
if it was anyone else,
yeah,
I guess I'd be mad. It's Wheels.
Yeah. All right. Who's playing kind of easy trivia today?
Today we have Keegan.
All right, Keegan is going to play today. Needs to get 3 out of 5 correct. Let's bring him in. Keegan, you ready to go today, buddy? All right. Start the ticker after we read the first question. Good luck, man. What event did Cal Raleigh win last night? Keegan, are you there? Keegan, bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. Okay, not Keegan.
Hold on here.
Call somebody else.
Keegan was there. What
I don't know what happened to. I don't know what happened to Keegan there. I'm not going to give him the window. We'll have to try again. Oh, wait, hey Keegan, are you there?
You know what? It was on YouTube on my phone at the same time. And so
okay. Well, we'll do it again. We'll play it again. Here we go. Trev, start the ticker. Here we go, Keegan. What event did Cal Raleigh win last night?
The Home Run Derby.
True or false? Cal Raleigh plays for the Blue Jays.
False.
Name one Blue Jay who is at the All-Star game.
Vladdy.
Which league is currently having their summer league tournament?
Pass.
What sport does Jake Ceresna play?
CFL football.
Boom. Got it. He got it. He's in. No. Oh, my God. Damn it, Shake. Stop it.
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment. Totally. People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV. That's stupid. It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
There's this young hockey player named Ike Howard. He just won the Hopi Breaker Award. He played his college hockey with Minnesota, Duluth, and then he went to Michigan State to be a Spartan. Ike Howard was drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning, but could not come up with a deal with them. Ike Howard has now been traded to the Edmonton Oilers with a chance to play with Connor McDavid on the top line. Ike has a shot as fear as gold, as can score from anywhere on the ice. His nickname is the Iceman. Ooh, 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 ooh.
His name is the Iceman.
There's this young hockey player named Isaac.
It's just a repeat. I was like, wait a second, is there a second verse here? I don't think a thief just cut and pasted it because I'm looking at the lyrics And it actually, the lyrics say he just won the HOPI Breaker Award. So that, like, I feel like a Teef typed in Hopi Breaker. That sounds like something a Teef would do. All right, that was fun. We're going to have Paul McFarland, assistant coach for the Oilers. He's going to join us in about 7 minutes. Gager after that. The rap for William Huff still to come. You can text us anytime in that Parachuters inbox. Buy now, do not pay for a year at our partners over at Old PJs. Collingwood Rob says, that's not a Teef. It's Ed Sheeran. All right, lots of good text messages we'll try to dive into as well. But let's get into 3 questions too many today for the great staff at Park Mazda, where Mitch is already playing the Ike Howard song in the showroom today. You go in to buy a vehicle today, that's all you're going to hear. Walking in, and you just see Mitch in the corner just sort of bouncing back and forth.
What are you playing,
giving you the sexy eyes.
What are you playing?
Yeah, you got to play it, Mitch.
He comes in, he turns off the thing. Oh, sorry.
The people want it, Mitch at Park Mazda. You know they do.
Yes. Give it to him.
Trev, you have a Twitter account.
Yes, I do. You can follow me at YouTube_Trev.
Any naked pictures of your butt on there?
Not yet.
Okay. If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, scroll back on YouTube or listen to the podcast later on. If you're listening live on TuneIn or iHeart, you missed a great series of confessions around 7:30.
Very good today. Very good. Yes.
Question number 1. If you guys could take one player off of PP1 and put one player on PP1, who would it be? Oh, my God.
I love this. I love this, baby.
Who would you put there, Trev?
I hope Tommy's not listening. I think he is, though. Shout out, Tommy. But, Nuge, I love you. You've done a lot for this team.
Okay.
You're off.
Who goes on?
Play it.
Ike Howard. Just kidding. We can't. That's a real
Ike Howard, though.
Too,
that's
man.
why.
Come on.
Kind of broken record. I've said why. Lethal shot. Different option. You know what? He had just as many assists as he did goals this year in college. So underrated playmaker as well.
I mean, I kind of got intrigued yesterday on the oil stream when Reed Wilkins was with me when he said, "What about Bouchard and Wallman?" And then you can play Bouchard over where Nuge currently is, and let those 1Ts go from the Ovi spot. Then you also wouldn't have to worry about Bouchard defending at the offensive blue line because Wallman would kind of be the last man back, and they just run Hyman in front of the net, Draisaitl in his spot, and McDavid's just all over the place, feeding 1Ts on this side to Bouchard and 1Ts on this side to Draisaitl. Yeah. Like, imagine McDavid swooping high and then trying to attack the middle, and he can go backhand to Bouch for a one-timer or forehand to Draisaitl for a one-timer.
I do like that.
It's not the worst idea we've ever heard of.
I mean, I want to see that spot for sure. Like, I remember when, you'll know this guy, young Jesse Puljujarvi was drafted. Right?
Careful what you say next if you like your employment.
No, but I just remember like, oh gosh, he's going to fit on the PP so good. And that's exactly what I said. You're going to have Leon on the one side, and then you're going to have Jesse's 1T on the other. So I see the logic. Obviously, Ovi made a career off there. Not saying Bouch is quite, but he's got a wicked shot.
We're gonna have Paul McFarland on right away. I'm gonna say, welcome to the show. Who's on PP1? Who's on PP2?
Yeah, just immediately.
Just straight up. Yeah. Then he gives them the names. They go, thanks. Click.
Oh, that's funny.
Question number 2. We already kind of hit this a little bit earlier on in the show with Rod and Scianitti when they joined us. Guys, if the Elks don't go to Cody Fajardo after the bye week, why did they even bring him in? To me, that's a fair question because, let's say things continue to trend in the direction they're in and they start the season 2-8. Then you're going to go to Cody Fajardo? Why?
Yeah.
Why are you going to go to the veteran at that point? You're not saving a season when it's 2-8. Okay? If Cody Fajardo is going to play, Cody Fajardo should play the next 2 games. If Cody Fajardo isn't going to play, then that's it. It's Trey rest of the season. There's no reason to bring in Cody Fajardo if the season's over after 10 games. The season might be over right now. You might be too late going to him already. But the season might be over right now, but it's not 100%. If they go to 2-8 through their first 10 games, she's done. Why would you go to Fajardo at that point? So it's either now or never for Cody Fajardo. If you want to make the development of Trey the priority this season, maybe even at the cost of possibly winning more, then you just stick with Trey. And some people would be fine with that. But you've got a guy who, prior to an injury last year, was a front runner for MOP and was the Grey Cup MVP 18 months ago.
Yeah.
You have to see it. You have to see it.
I echo everything you just said. And is it fair to say, this is obviously the first year that he's been the guy, but his best looks for sure last year were in the games that he came in, right? So who knows? Right? It could be really good for him. Do you think that he's just that extra motivating factor? He's like, I'm cruising. This is my spot now, right? Like, how much of that was a driving factor for him last year? You're like, I want to earn this. And maybe he's kind of put the foot off the pedal in that aspect where he's just like, I'm pretty comfortable. Does he look comfortable? So I don't know, but I definitely think Cody Fajardo should go in. Seen enough.
Question number 3. Would you guys say any pro sports all-star event is even worth watching? I guess in 2025, because we both watched events in the past. Is there one that you would still watch start to finish in 2025, Trev?
Depends. Depends on who's thrown it down. I've always been most intrigued to the slam dunk, the dunk competition, the dunk contest. But in recent years, it's been pretty brutal. Like, it's been like everything. So I still maybe have hold that a little close to my heart. I tune in. I definitely watch all that. And then that's the thing. Even if I don't watch it, I'll always watch it on YouTube. Like every single time. They're the clips. You can't avoid that. So that's for me. It's a dunk contest.
You can try to give Paul a call, and we'll try to track him down this morning. I don't know. I'll say no. The closest I would get to watching a all-star variety event would probably be if the kids wanted to watch the NHL skills. Like, Marsh was somewhat intrigued by Home Run Derby last night, but he's not going to sit down and watch 2.5 hours of a Home Run Derby. That's just not going to happen. We're going to watch the highlights on social media, which were Chisholm getting trolled for only hitting 3 bombs, and the big dumper advancing by inches to move on and then eventually win it. So I don't know. Duck Dad says, if I bet on an all-star game in some fashion, that's the only way I would watch it. I also feel like I get it. Duck Dad's a member of the D-Gen Den. Feels a little D-Genny to bet on all-star games. With that being said, Play Alberta early bird bet of the day is the under in the MLB All-Star game tonight at 7.5. So, yeah, there's that. All right. We do have the new assistant coach of the Edmonton Oilers, Paul McFarland, on the show this morning. Paul, good morning. How you doing, man?
Great. How are you guys doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine. I do want to start with your time in Calgary briefly. I worked with Brad Curl for a long time in Lethbridge back in the day. How's Brad Curl doing down in Calgary still? Voice of the Calgary Hitmen.
Yeah, it was excellent. Loved my time in Calgary, obviously, with the Hitmen. I think I have a lot of appreciation for the bus rides in the Western League after the last year, I can tell you that. Got to see lots of different new places that I've never been to, and it's definitely enjoyed my time in Western Canada.
Man, there's some long hauls in the West, isn't there?
You there?
Yeah, are you there? I was just saying there's some long bus rides in the West, isn't there?
There really is, but it's kind of what brings a group together. I think at the end of the day, I think it's those kind of trips that allows your team to bond and be around each other. And at the end of the day, it's only going to make you a better player having to go through it. So it's a lot of fun, I think, going through those different experiences. And I don't mind the bus. That's for sure.
Congratulations on the job here in Edmonton. Did you go after this, or was it a thing where Knobloch reached out to you and said, "Hey, I'd like to bring you on board"?
Well, I think it's in a lot of these situations, it's mutual, right? I mean, for me, this situation, the people that are in place within the organization, obviously having a chance to work with Chris, I have a ton of respect for him. And then you look at the players that they have; it's a pretty special situation, very unique, even in the NHL, which is obviously the best league in the world. So it was, I think, mutual. But for me personally, just really excited to have a chance to be a part of it and do everything I can to help our players get better and take a step.
You've been on a few NHL benches, obviously coaching the Ontario League and the Western League as well. Was there maybe it was a guy that you played for? I don't know. Which coaches have had the most influence on you as a man and you as your style of coaching goes?
Sorry, I think I lost you there.
Just your guys who you've either been coached by or coached with that have influenced your style of coaching. We lose him again? Okay, try to get him back there, Trev. Let's try to get him back. I want to know who his biggest influences were. And then we're going to talk about power play a little bit. We'll try to reconnect with Paul McFarland here in just a second. Abutski in the chat says, what's more degen, betting on an all-star game or betting on wrestling? I mean, that's a good point. I mean, betting on wrestling, it's scripted. It's still fun to try sometimes. Anyway, well, I don't know. Paul might be somewhere in a weird location, but Trev's going to reconnect with him here as well. McDowell is asking Paul about the ability of mixing in a little bit of power play 2 times. So we'll definitely get to there as well. All right, let's try it one more time. Paul, we got you back. You good? You're good now?
Yeah, I'm all set. That's actually clearer than it was the first time.
Oh, well, there we go.
Apologize.
That's good news, man. No, it's probably on our end. You don't need to apologize. I was asking, whether it's a guy that coached you along the way or guys that you've worked with in some of your stops along the way, who have been your biggest influences in your coaching career?
Well, I think it always starts for me. DJ Smith was the first person that gave me a coaching job. I was actually his captain my last year at junior. I think he was really the first coach for me that really took the time to go the extra mile, and we've obviously stayed close and have a great relationship since. But he's one of the people. I think I had a chance to play for Pete DeBoer Jr., who was very structured, very detailed. Was an excellent role model for me as well. So there's been different people along the way. I think I've been really fortunate to work with a lot of great coaches. I think every step of the way. Even recently, working with the Seattle, Dave Haxtell. I think there's been a lot of people that really had an influence. You take little bits and pieces from everybody. But ultimately, I think in this job or role, you always have to be yourself, and everyone's going to be unique and have their own way to do things. But it's all great experiences to go through those things. You're
just 39 years old. You've already been on some NHL benches. At what point did you think, okay, I want to be a coach. I'm going to be a coach. Is that something that happens in junior, or is it once you get to university? How's that happen?
You know what? I decided to go to Acadia University when I was done playing junior hockey, and that's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I think from obviously not just a hockey standpoint, but schooling, everything that I did there. But also, I think it really kind of increased my passion for coaching or teaching for that matter, and the ability and the impact you can have as a coach. So I think that's really where it started to start for me. And like I said, DJ Smith and Jeff Toohey gave me my first job as an assistant coach in Oshawa. And ever since then, kind of been running with it. But it's if you're not going to play the game and you're not going to be able to play as long as you want to play as a player, I think the next best thing is coaching. And you still have the competitiveness and the nature of being obviously involved with the team. And it's just great to, have the impact and be around the players. And ultimately, for me, it's the next best thing.
There's always a lot of conversation about coaching the modern day player. And now you coached junior before getting into the National Hockey League a bit. Then you coached junior again. But you're a newer generation coach. So I don't know if you have much, experience with the older guys, but how is it a challenge nowadays to connect with players, or is it easier to connect with this generation?
Well, I love it, personally. I think every new team is always a great challenge or opportunity, but that's the best part about this job, right? And that's the best part of being involved in this game for me, is getting to know people and ultimately, trying to build different relationships and connections with each and every person. Everyone's different, right? I mean, there's not one. It's not like you can, try to do that one way with everybody. I think you have to relate to different people different ways, and you have to find ultimately what they need to be successful and how you can ultimately help them. Hopefully build their confidence and feel good about themselves. I think so much of this game for me is surrounded by confidence. And so our job as coaches is always to try to put players in positions of strength and continue to build on their confidence and then continue to evolve, right? I mean, there's no secret. There's so much technology in today's game that, people have to continue to evolve and get better and take steps. But as you said, it starts with the relationship side, which for me, that's what's so exciting about coming into this team. I'm really excited to get to know the guys and obviously the staff for that matter and get to work.
You have an element of your job is something that 1 million people in this city have an opinion on, and that's a power play. That's been really good for a long time. Just how exciting is it to kind of get the reins of a power play that's been this special for the last half decade?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, there's no question. There's, I think everyone talks about it. That, there's some special players that you get a chance to work with. They've had a ton of success. So, obviously we've all studied this power play for years as to what they do, but it's hard to replicate. So I think for me coming in, like I said, it starts with getting to know the players and working with them and having lots of conversations. But I think ultimately I want to continue to build on the things they've been great at or that are already seen as strengths. And then we have to continue to evolve and can't be afraid to try some different things and, find ways to hopefully continue to improve it. But it's an exciting group. I think that's what makes this, like I said, this situation so special to come into, and that's why I think I'm really excited about what's ahead.
Man, I love what you said. How everybody has studied the Oilers power play and tried to find ways to duplicate it, but unless you got 97, it's kind of tough to do, isn't it?
Well, that's the one thing I took away. When I was in Florida, my first NHL stint, and we had a pretty successful power play while I was there. And I went to Toronto after that, who, just in their own right has some obviously very special players. But you can't really duplicate it in different spots because obviously at the end of the day, players are good at different things. Even the best players in the world, for that matter. Obviously, some of the top players, here in Edmonton, do things other players can't do elsewhere. So I think that's what makes each and every job unique, and each and every season unique, right? I mean, the power plays and the teams obviously had a ton of success here of late. But as we know, come training camp, it starts all over again, right? Everyone's got to try to build from scratch again. There's 32 teams that are all looking for the same thing. So from my perspective, I'm excited just to start it all over again and be a part of that process.
But I don't want to go too super power play nerd here. But I was reading some stuff when you got brought on board in Toronto about, and I think from a media perspective and a fan base perspective, in our minds, it's always about, well, what do the Oilers do here? What do the Oilers do here? But I think it's an interesting process of other teams with different penalty kills, and not so much your setup, but how you attack the other penalty kill. How much of it is about the penalty kill you're about to face and finding their weaknesses, as opposed to just McDavid breaks into the zone and tries to find Draisaitl?
Yeah, I mean, the best power plays, I think, in the NHL, for me, are always kind of a step ahead, right? Like, penalty kills are going to have their structure, their details that they want to have. But in my experience, when you're working with a top power play or the power play has a lot of confidence, ultimately, a lot of times the penalty kills are trying to adjust for you. For that team, to see that team, and that's when you have them at your the point you want to have them, where you're always going to have a chance to be a step ahead. And so it starts again with trying to build things that you're great at, so they obviously see what we're hopefully really good at, and ultimately then we got to try to evolve and stay ahead of what we're going to see. So it's twofold, but I think you always want to have that attack mindset. For me, I mean, the best players in the world are the best power plays in the world. I think every time you get a power play, you should be excited and hopping over that bench thinking you're going to score. And, I would expect no different, obviously, next season.
So how do you keep busy the rest of the offseason? How do you pass the time?
There's lots going on. I mean, obviously, lots of video that I can watch to just continue to get more familiar with the players. I think, but also, there's like every coaching journey, there's a transition of getting, family to Edmonton as well. So fortunately in this situation, it's a shorter move, but there's lots going on, lots of work to be done, obviously, to get ready for training camp. And I was saying this yesterday, even talking to a few of the staff. I think, obviously Edmonton's been on a long run, and everyone's in need probably for a little bit of a breather and some rest and recovery before the year gets going again. I feel like I could start tomorrow. So we're all in a few different places, but I'm excited to get started in training camp and look forward to getting to Edmonton.
One of our guys here is counting down. It's 68 days until the first preseason game. So you got a little bit of time, but get to work, I guess. Paul, really appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot, and congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks again.
There you go. That is Paul McFarland, new assistant coach, and will have the reins of the power play for the Edmonton Oilers. That was a good conversation. And we'll see where it goes. I like the fact that he's like, everybody in Edmonton is just like, I do like a guy who, like, everybody else in Edmonton is like, okay. Like Knobloch's probably like, whew, finally some downtime.
Debrief.
Let me relax. And he's getting texts from Paul, and he goes, what do you think about Wallman up there? What do you think about Wallman at the top of the power play?
Yeah.
Think we do this?
That's funny.
Yeah, I think
great job, Dusty. That was
energetic
awesome.
guy.
Front row seat to that. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I think one of the keys to interviews is listening to the person.
Yeah.
And then having a conversation with them.
Well, I mean, you make it look easy.
Nobody in the city is better at it than Reed. I like to think when I actually have a chance to do nice, legitimate interviews, I'm not bad at it.
Yeah, man, that was
Some
sick.
people don't pay attention and it drives me nuts.
I listen all the time. I can't do anything like that.
All right, Joaquin Gage is going to join us next. He's going to be added to the goaltending staff.
Yeah, I know. He was pumped. He was pumped, man.
Yeah, he's very excited about this. They're going to actually have the Oilers' new goaltending coach on EST Afternoons today as well. Kyle the Embalmer says, get that guy up to the Nasty Bash. Probably not going to happen. Probably not a good idea. All right, we got a sports update coming up for a place where it is always game day. Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge. Gager's going to pop by, and then we'll have the wrap for William Huff featuring the sound of the day, which is a big one. Here's the latest in the world of sports with YouTube, Trev.
Some changes behind the bench in Edmonton. The Oilers have added 3 new coaches in Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Connor Allen, while reassigning Paul Coffey to special advisor to ownership and hockey operations. The Buffalo Sabres locked up their young defenseman in Bowen Byram with a 2-year, $12.5 million extension that skips arbitration. The 24-year-old had a career high in points last season with 38 points. Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners made history in Atlanta last night, winning the 2025 Home Run Derby and becoming the first catcher and first switch hitter to claim the title. He edged out Junior Caminero 18-15 in the finals, powering 54 total homers on the night, bringing home the iconic chain and $1 million prize. And according to Farhan Lalji, Edmonton Elks Jake Ceresna's imaging on his knee came back clean and could be back in a couple of weeks. The New York Jets have locked up their star wide receiver Garrett Wilson with a groundbreaking 4-year, $130 million extension, including $90 million guaranteed. Since being drafted in 2022, Wilson has put up 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. The Sports Update presented by Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge with wall-to-wall TVs, daily food and drink specials. It's the place to be for every Elks game. Every day is game day at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge.
To get away for a little fun and play. So fly and stay with the AF Nasty. Come to Mexico for a lot of fun. Come to Mexico for a little sun. Come to Mexico to get some rest. Come to Mexico, it's gonna be the best. It's time to get away for a little fun and play. So fly and stay with the AM Nasty. Come to Mexico for a lot of fun.
Come to Mexico for a little fun. It's going to be a good time. Jerry Haraxi yesterday, I mentioned earlier in the show, he's booked his spot. They're coming with. I don't know if he brings the sluice juice to Mexico, but I sure hope he does. That'll be a pretty good time if you want to come with us. Give Chelsea a call. Expedia Cruises, Northeast Edmonton, 780-970-4834. 5-star resort, Planet Hollywood, Cancun. There is a lazy river that has a grotto, so once you get in, you never have to get out. Outside and go take a piss. Don't be one of those people. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Less than $2,500. Limited spots remain. This trip is filling up quickly, and give Chelsea a call. 780-970-4834. That plane ride down is going to be incredible. Can't wait. All right. If my information is correct, the Oilers hired one of Gager's former backups to be their new goalie coach. Let's dive into it. Right here is Joaquin Gage from EST Afternoons, and two guys. The goalie joins us. Gager, what's up, my man?
Good to see you, Dusty.
Hey,
how are you?
Good to see you too, Gager. Good to see you too. Peter Aubrey. You guys cross paths briefly back in the day?
I don't think so.
Well,
I looked up his hockey DB and the dates don't match.
I'm looking at the Mosquitoes roster. Oh, same team, same year, but not at the same time of the season, because they have him down playing 3 games for the Mosquitoes in a year where you played 38.
Oh, I booted him.
I don't know if he played. So that year, let's just break it down. You played 38 games. Benjamin Voigt played 3. Joaquin Reimer played 3, and Peter Aubrey played 3.
Yeah, I booted him. I did. I remember him there, and shoot, I feel awful right now.
It's worked out for him. You're stuck working.
Yeah, he's all right. Hey, look where he is. Look where he is now, right? Sometimes you got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, Dusty.
Hey, it should be a fun conversation today when he's on your show.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Oh, that sucks.
It's funny. Hernan booked him with Beardo yesterday, and he's like, I said, when do you have him on? He goes, well, we could have had him today, but I wanted to save him when Gager's on, because I want Gager on when we're chatting with the goalie coach. So he saved him just for you, Gager.
Oh, shoot. I got to see a picture of this guy, because I remember going in there, and he was literally packing his gear up, I think, and leaving. His
hockey DB has a picture of him.
Okay, I'll look it up after. But geez.
Seriously, you walked into a room and the other goalie was packing his gear up?
But it might have been the other guy. It was a long time ago.
There was a few other guys.
There was.
They had 3 goalies before you came in and stole the show.
Because it was just Benny and me. Benny was a great guy. I felt really bad that he didn't play as much. But that'll be interesting. Sparks will fly. Way to go, man.
Anyway, EST Afternoons today from 1 until 3 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. That should be
probably going to be our best show ever.
It very well could be. I think it very well could be.
Oh, no.
That'll be good. McDoust over the chat says Gager should just do the entire interview. That's too good. Gager, what do you think? New voice for Stuart Skinner and Pickard. He was with Chicago for about 9 seasons. A couple of years recently in the NCAA. Obviously, is a guy that we would probably describe as a Bowman guy after the connections to Chicago. I believe you said this before. Goalie coaches in general, the use of them probably vary from guy to guy, but might in general be a little overrated. But what do you think about this and how it might impact their 2 goalies right now?
I like the fresh voice aspect of it. I've told you the most important thing in a relationship between a coach and the goalie coach is that communication, right? How are they going to adjust to certain things that other teams do to exploit the deficiencies of the goaltenders, right? And work on those types of things. But if you look at Dustin Schwartz over the past decade and what he was able to do, you have to give him a little bit of credit because he did get goalies finding their best game, and was a part of that in some respect. Not a huge percentage, but he was definitely part of that. But the one thing that Dustin Schwartz seemed to not be able to pull out of his goaltenders, and you don't get to the NHL without providing this part of your game throughout your lives, is consistency. He was never able to get Edmonton Oilers goalies to play at that consistent level. And I think I was listening to Reed explain it and you yesterday on Oil Stream that the gap between their top game and their bad game is too big. It's too great, right? That when they're not as good, they still have to. They can't be allowing those 6-7 goals against and then coming back with those really good performances. Their subpar games have to be, that 89.89 save percentage. Not great, but it still keeps their players in it or their teams in it. So let's see if Aubrey can find that balance of getting their game to a level that's a lot more consistent. And when you have that from your goaltender, it just provides so much more confidence throughout your whole lineup, right? Knowing that guy's back there, that, he's most likely going to cover up for a lot of mistakes if something happens, and they don't have to start making adjustments when they realize that, Stuart Skinner or Calvin Pickard's not having a great night tonight. I got to tighten up defensively and not allow any shots because everything's going in.
Joaquin Gage with us on the show this morning. We just had McFarland on talking about the power play a little bit. A power play that did dip to 12th in the league last year, which is completely fine for Reed. I don't know if Reed yesterday on the Oil Stream was, and I guess on his show too, he fired up. But Gager, you're the new guy. You come in. It's been overpowering for more than half a decade. You just kind of let it be, or did you have some appetite to see some tweaks here or there?
I think it's because it's funny that we talk about this power play, and again, it's been dominant for like 7 years in the National Hockey. It's been unbelievable. Yeah, there was a dip last year, and you could see that they were. I think they were trying to. There was one play that they always did, and they kept going back to the well, and it worked out. It worked out for a lot of the times, that the pass across to Leon. But I really do believe I'm in Reed's corner with this, that they have to start looking for other go-to plays.
Yeah, what's option number 2, Gager? Right, we talked about that this morning. We know what option number 1 is, but what's number 2?
I would say that option number 2, it's a combination of McDavid flying around the outside 3 times and maybe busting in, or getting it back to Bush and shooting it. But to tell you the truth, I think it should be back to Bush and letting it go a lot more with because when the power play, when I felt it was when it was number 1 in the league. One of the main reasons why it was so good was their puck retrieval. And the puck retrieval came back to the initial getting pucks funneled towards the net with traffic, rebounds, because the Oilers were so good at stripping pucks from the opposing team late in power plays when they were just gassed, right? And so I think there has to be a mindset to shoot the puck more. Everything good happens off those initial shots, and they're pretty good on faceoffs too, getting the puck back and things like that. So just getting another draw isn't the end of the world too. But I just think a simplification of the power play. It'll be tough coming in and saying, I want to revamp this thing, right? You're not taking apart the complete engine and going from there. But it's funny because I was listening to you guys a little bit yesterday, and I do like the one thing I would change from what Reed said. Like he said, he wanted Bouchard over on the left side, right?
Yeah.
So not so much up top. And I definitely have time for that because you're going to drag someone out to start guarding him, kind of just the same as Leon and Ovi in Washington. And I would put the Nuge up top. He's a good distributor of the puck. He has that little wrist shot that can siphon it in. But I think he can dish it over back and forth between Bouchard and Leon a little bit more, and even Connor on the half wall if he comes up high, right? So I've got time for maybe the same personnel, but maybe a little bit of a different look and a little bit more movement to just to change things up, because I think we talked about it all year long, Dusty, is how teams know what they're doing and they're cheating like crazy, and the ones that are cheating the most are the goaltenders, and that was all the way through the playoffs. Like you saw Bobrovsky.
Yeah, he's just gone. See you later. We're over there.
His shoulders were completely turned when Connor was coming down the left side, and you knew he was going to go pass it over to Leon. Like he was cheating like crazy. So yeah, they have to find another trigger on that power play just to keep the PK of opposing teams honest.
Gage, before we let you go, two things. Well, we'll get into a little bit on two guys. Did you go see Superman?
It was unreal.
It was good, eh? Okay, I'm going to go in Vancouver this weekend. I have to see it.
Yeah,
Everybody says it's incredible. Okay, good. Yeah. And then Max Verstappen to Mercedes. Is this going to be a done deal or what?
I think so, man.
Wow.
I think. Well, they were on Max's plane, and they tracked the yachts and Toto and in Croatia or whatever it was.
What
Toto's
life
yacht
those guys live,
and
man.
Max's yacht. Well, they tracked them and they went out into the sea and parked next to each other. Right. So
come on, is that true?
I think so. Like I was looking. I don't know. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm limited. I'm limited with my technology at this point, but yeah, I think they do. And the what was funny, and I don't even know if this is real, but you know when they announce a new pope and they put out the white smoke or whatever, like Mercedes put up orange smoke out of the stack of the factory.
Be real. Come on.
I don't care if it's not. It's awesome if they did.
God, I love you. You're the best. All right, we'll see you in here a little bit later on.
Yeah, I got to go find my Essen Mosquitoes jersey to wear in today.
Well, Big Maple did say, Gager, you don't remember him, but he'll remember you.
All right, I'll see you later.
See you later, man. There you go. That's Joaquin Gage, who stole the job of the new goaltender coach for the Edmonton Oilers a long time ago when they played for a team called the Mosquitoes. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your play, actually, I've got a meeting Bruce this afternoon. We're going to go through the new office so he can give me his thoughts on a few places that we can make look a little bit better. We're also, that the sign on the outside of the building, that's coming with. But it's going to be an indoor sign at the new place. Yeah, nice. Yeah, because the signage at the new place is a little bit different. It's a different variety. Okay. So luckily, the sign that we have outside here is small enough that we can put it on the inside. Yes.
What are you thinking? Right at the front entrance?
Right when you come up the stairs? Yeah. Right on that wall where there's like some white paint right now? Boom, right there. Yep. I think that'll probably be it. Very excited to get the new office set up.
Can't wait, baby.
It's pretty good. All right. If you want to partner with William Huff, and most people already do because they're the best in the biz. They've been doing it since 1952. Check them out, www.williamhuff.com. What did we learn on the show today, Trev?
Well, I learned of the new Unreal smash hit summer song that we'll be playing in probably 2 minutes.
I don't know if it's going to be the sound of the day. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Oh, yeah. I learned, obviously, the big thing. I mean, yes, we did just learn this, but that's pretty cool, the whole Gager story. Did they know each other? Did they not? Did they cross paths? I'm going to be tuning in. I tune in every single day, but that'll be a great interaction. And what else is there? I guess Paul, he's excited. I learned that he's excited. He said, I'm excited to be a part of the Oilers organization, and I can't wait to get ready and go. So I'm pumped. I can't wait. I love that energy he's bringing. Let's go, baby.
I learned that Trev had an Instagram account with his buddies that had 3,000 followers about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
In which they showed their butts when they were out in the wilderness.
Yes. Get your butt out.
That's what I learned.
It was good, man. People were like, this is awesome. And it didn't really stick.
All right. So that's a big thing I learned today.
Thank you.
We also learned that Atif kind of cut and pasted the Wikipedia page of Isaac Howard, now Ike Howard, and put together a little song. It's going to be your sound of the day. I have to say, this is so much better than actually hearing from Atif. Mm-hmm. This has summer written all over it, too.
There's this young hockey player named Isaac Howard. He just won the Hopi Breaker Award. He played his college hockey with Minnesota, Duluth, and then he went to Michigan State to be a Spartan. Isaac Howard was drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning, but could not come up with a deal with them. Isaac Howard has now been traded to the Edmonton Oilers with a chance to play with Connor McDavid on the top line. Isaac has a shot as fear as gold, as can score from anywhere on the ice. His nickname is the Iceman. Ooh, oh, 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 oh.
All right, there you go. That's your sound of the day. It's the Isaac Howard song from Atif. Doesn't suck. I'll just say this. I'll say it doesn't suck. So that's good. Text of the day today for A and W, where the drive-thrus are open 24/7. All the delicious snacks and meals you can get at A&W anytime you want to get them at A&W. I got to go with this one. This came in when you were telling your story about your bare butt in nature. Comes in from Dr. Evil. How about no? How about no, you crazy? Let's do a Herbert Pervert and Dr. Evil conversation. Hello, Herbert.
Hello, Dr. Evil.
Would you like to help me take over the world?
Well, yes, I would. Yes, certainly what we're doing.
Oh, you're too funny. Anyway, text of the day today from Dr. Evil. Going to win a gift certificate to A&W. Was Austin Matthews on that hike? Oh, because Austin Matthews whipped his butt out once too.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It's suddenly not as cool.
No.
Damn.
He also has had his butt spanked in the playoffs for his entire career.
Yeah, he has.
Hey-oh.
Get your way, your butt kicked.
All right, there you go. I love your impression of Herbert the Pervert, man.
That was a little rough. Like you need to give it like a few couple sentences.
So you ask me a question as Herbert the Pervert, and then I'm going to drop a Dr. Evil. How about no one? Yeah.
Oh, no.
So let's do something with Chris. Say something about, I don't know.
Like I'm on the spot stuff I've never done.
You
I've
nail
never
it,
been
though.
good though. Yeah, but now this is all of a sudden a lot of pressure.
Ask me if I want to go for breakfast.
And you're Dr. Evil?
I'm Dr. Evil, yeah.
Hey, Dr. Evil, you want to go for breakfast?
How about no?
Son, come on, man.
Okay. That was fun. What are we watching tonight? I guess, I'm actually kind of excited for. I never say this ever, but I'm kind of excited for the ESPYs because Shane Gillis is hosting. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, Shane Gillis is my guy, man.
Shane Gillis is funny.
He is the best.
And he's hosting the ESPYs, so I think I will actually check out the ESPYs tomorrow. But how about them ripping off our name? That's pretty lame.
I know, it is annoying.
Yeah.
He might be the funniest person on this earth.
It's a great question.
right now.
I mean, I think Will Ferrell always has been my guy. Like, if I had to go funniest human ever, Ferrell is probably up there. Funniest human right now, I mean, Shane Gillis is funny.
Yeah, man.
Nate Bargatze's funny too, though.
As far as like,
That
I'll
dude's
always
hilarious.
Will Ferrell, like he'll always be probably the GOAT, but just as far as his stand-up stuff, like I know,
I mean, it's a different type of laughs, right?
But like
Yeah.
he's like, I feel like he's naturally just funny. Like he's just
Ferrell.
gifted. Yes.
Yeah,
But Shane has to try. Like, it's all scripted, but Ferrell can just, if they were in a room, I think I'd probably laugh more at Ferrell. You're right.
But from a stand-up perspective, Gillis, Bargatze, Jasmine says Dave Chappelle, funniest guy. Yeah, I mean, Chappelle, there's a bunch of them. Did we do a comedy draft at one point?
I was not there for that.
Maddie, have we ever done a comedy draft? I thought we did a draft of funny one time.
Saturday.
We did a Saturday Night Live draft.
Yeah.
But we didn't do like a draft where we draft stand-up comedians and then like funny movies. I like that idea. I'm going to put that in the phone right now. Comedy draft. In a sec. I got to find my draft folder here. I think comedy draft. So we got bird draft coming up. I was working with dates for Quinn on that one. But comedy draft, if we haven't done that yet, that could actually be pretty funny. All right. Tomorrow, huge show. Huge show tomorrow. As Marshall Bo Keith Nielsen, a.k.a. to many of you, the Barracuda, makes his Nielson Show debut. He'll be riding shotgun with me from 8 until 9. And his little sister, known as the Muzz. And I don't know, we'll see how this plays out with the Muzz. I think she might end up being a little bit nervous, but she's excited. She's going to hop in for the final 10, 15 minutes. Marshall said to me last night before I go to bed, he goes, Daddy, how long is the rap again? I said, well, it's about 10 minutes usually. He goes, maybe the Muzz can come in for that. So it should be a good time, but I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. I'll be back with the Lock Shop at 11 today. We've got 2 guys and a goalie. EST afternoons. The new goaltending coach of the Edmonton Oilers will be on EST afternoons from 1 till 3 today. Reed Wilkins show from 3 until 6, and the Hangout is on the way next right here on EST. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, a couple of quick promos, and then we'll get into the Hangout. For YouTube, Trev, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thank you very much for joining us today. Take it easy.